It's been 14 days now. They're still finding survivors. I saw a story yesterday of a mother, who nursed 3 children while they were trapped under rubble and kept them alive. It is absolutely miraculous, and the miracles don't end there. Here's a report from the Canadian Broadcasting Company.
There are believed to be about 5 people who were in a barber shop when the earthquake hit on June 24th, those twin earthquakes that rocked this part of Venezuela. And there are people here holding on to this thread of hope that they may still, after this earthquake, they still believe there's this small sliver of a chance. There's people reporting that they've heard voices. And
it breaks your heart. It absolutely. And those who do survive and get pulled from the rubble, they need help. People who are left without homes, they need help. And that heart that is broken, well, it's also going to lead you to give whatever you can to help them out and send aid, emergency aid, food aid, medical aid through our friends at Food for the Poor. This is a Christian charity that does such great work. Please go to LarryOShow.com and click on the Help Venezuela banner when you get there. Please give whatever you can. If you'd like to text, you can do that too. Text my name, Larry, to 51555, 51555. But the best way is to go to our show page, LarryOShow.com. Right at the top, you'll see a banner to help Venezuela. God bless you. Thank you for helping those who are in desperate need.
Hey, did you know the odds of our universe having the exact physical constants needed for life is 1 in 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 123rd? That's a number so large there aren't enough particles in the universe to write it down. It's not philosophy, it's physics. I've been telling you about the new documentary called The Story of Everything, and it's now available through streaming online. You can enjoy it over and over again. Plus, you can share it with your kids and your friends. This amazing movie dives deep into the mathematics of fine-tuning, the information code buried in DNA, and the precision engineering inside every living cell. It basically asks and answers, does the evidence point to design? Whether you're a physics junkie, a curious skeptic, or just someone who loves having their mind blown, this is the film to see. The Story of Everything, truly a cinematic masterpiece. Enjoy it now. It's available on streaming. Go to thestoryofeverything.film/Mike. Thestoryofeverything.film/Mike. That's thestoryofeverything.film/Mike.
This is the KSVP Community Calendar, a look at things to do in Artesia, Eddy County, and the Pecos Valley. Where Light Gathers, featuring the artwork of artists Swen Boomhauer and Kirsten Moritzen, will be on display in the Artesia General Hospital main lobby through September 1st. Many pieces will be for sale, with 20% of all artwork sales directly benefiting the Artesia General Hospital Foundation. The next Republican Women's Club of Carlsbad Day Meeting and Artesia Night Meeting will be on Thursday, July 16th. The day meeting is at the Stevens Inn and Restaurant. Doors open at 11:15. Order off the menu. Meeting starts at noon. The night meeting is at the Artesia Country Club. Come at 5:30 p.m. to eat. The meeting starts at 6 p.m. To have your event listed on the KSVP Community Calendar, email calendar@ksvpradio.com. Please let us know at least 1 week in advance.
This is KSVP and K229 AS Artesia.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm John Scott. The U.S. and Iran exchange intensifying fire across the Persian Gulf as an interim deal to end the war is threatened.
The U.S. has launched new strikes on Iran on Thursday. Tehran responded by targeting Bahrain, Kuwait and Qatar. Shortly before the U.S. strikes, President Donald Trump said recent Iranian attacks on ships in the Strait of Hormuz signaled the end of the ceasefire.
And I say we hit them 20-1. Every time they hit us, we're going to hit them 20.
In Iran, the 2 days of American airstrikes have killed at least 14 people and wounded scores more, according to Iranian authorities. Iran's retaliatory attacks in the Gulf appeared bigger all around, with sirens sounding in Kuwait and at least 3 times in Bahrain. I'm Karen Shamas.
A Democratic candidate for the U.S. Senate is dropping out.
In Maine,
we believe that for the movement to continue,
Democratic Senate candidate Graham Plattner,
it can't be made.
Posting a video to social media following a sexual assault allegation.
We are suspending campaign operations.
It came from a woman who dated him, who said he drunkenly forced her to have sex text despite her telling him to stop, an allegation Plattner denies.
I know that some will think it's an admission of guilt, and it most certainly is not.
Maine law includes a provision for Democrats to replace Plattner before the general election, and the state Democratic Party held an emergency meeting earlier Wednesday where more than 100 committee members signed off on holding a nominating convention in the event of Plattner's withdrawal. I'm Ben Thomas.
Yet another brutal heat dome set to roast part of the United States starting this weekend as part of a major weather pattern change. Some of the most intense heat will center on the Rockies, where some daily records are likely to be tied or broken. And wildfire activity will be a major concern in some areas. More on these stories from townhall.com.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
The Trump administration cracking down on an abuse of the H-1B visa program.
Vice President J.D. Vance says the administration is launching a new effort targeting abuse of the H-1B visa program.
Today, I'm proud to announce that the Federal Department of Labor has started dozens of subpoenas and investigations into foreign fraudsters who are trying to take advantage of the H-1B visa program.
The administration says the effort is aimed at protecting American workers. Willie Nelson, Washington.
Kentucky's governor has written an open letter to Mitch McConnell asking the Republican senator to disclose more about his condition. It's been 3 weeks of silence from the 84-year McConnell since he was hospitalized. Former Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan has been spared from prison for ushering a Mexican defendant out of her courtroom as ICE agents waited in the hallway. A federal judge has fined her $5,000. News at townhall.com. A judge has ordered E. Jean Carroll to be paid $5.8 million in the Trump sex abuse and defamation case. Correspondent Lisa Dwyer with the update in this report.
A federal judge says writer E. Jean Carroll can be paid the $5.8 million that was set aside after a jury found that President Donald Trump sexually abused her in 1996 and defamed her after she publicly revealed the attack. Trump's lawyers immediately appealed that order, which frees the money to be released to Carroll. Carroll's lawyers requested disbursement of the money after the Supreme Court declined to hear an appeal of the 2023 civil verdict. Trump has resumed defamatory attacks against Carroll as his lawyers consider asking the High Court to reconsider its decision. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
years of broadcasting in 2026, one of our longest-running features is the KSVIP. We love recognizing our local residents and listeners for great accomplishments in their lives. If it's a birthday, anniversary, promotion, retirement, a new family member, you name it, they're worthy of being a KSVIP. To nominate a special person who will receive recognition on the radio and a flower from Nell's Floral, call 575-746-2751.
Good morning, Artesia. It is Thursday, July 9th. I am your host, Scott Pettis. Getting the show kicked off. Hey, I'm looking at the schedule. It seems kind of empty. Our 8 o'clock guest had to cancel for today. So, hey, you've got me for the 7 o'clock and the 8 o'clock hour. We'll have Jeff in. We'll look for all kinds of stuff to talk about. There's plenty going on in the news. 9 o'clock hour, however, is jam-packed. We'll be talking to the Ocotillo. Of course, we'll talk to Aaron. And then we're going to hear from the kids that went to the AMA Amateur National Motocross. Apparently, they did very well. So they're going to come in and tell us all about that. So, hey, I'm going to switch things up a little bit this morning because, we got some time to fill. So I kind of want to go on a little bit of a rant this morning. And so I'm going to give you the scripture verse. I'm going to read it up front. And then we're going to go ahead and go to weather and calendars and all of that. And then when we come back, I'm going to expound upon it. We're going to talk a little bit about it and what I think it means in our current context in this society. So if you wanted to join me, I'm in Hebrews 12 today. And if you want to follow along in the text, Hebrews 12, and I'm going to start with verse 3. It says, "Consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted. In your struggle against sin, you have not yet resisted to the point of shedding your blood. And you have forgotten the exhortation that addresses you as sons. My son, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord, nor be weary when reproved by him. For the Lord disciplines the one he loves, and chastises every son whom he receives. It is for discipline that you have to endure. God is treating you as sons. For what son is there whom his father does not discipline? If you are left without discipline, in which all have participated, then you are illegitimate children and not sons. Besides this, we have had earthly fathers who disciplined us, and we respected them. Shall we not much more be subject to the Father of spirits and live? For they disciplined us for a short time, as it seemed best to them. But he disciplines us for our good, that we may share in his holiness. For the moment, all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant. But later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. Therefore lift your drooping hands, strengthen your weak knees, and make straight paths for your feet, so that what is lame may not be put out of joint, but rather be healed. Strive for peace with everyone, and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, and that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled." All right, that's the reading of God's holy word. Let's go ahead and check in on our weather, and we'll come back with our calendars and a commercial break, and then we're going to jump into that text and look at what it really means for our lives today.
With your Pecos Valley weather, no big changes to the hot and dry pattern. We'll be at about 102 for the afternoon high today. Lots of sunshine and a little bit breezy. Overnight, low 70s and a few clouds. We're between 100 and 105 and sunny on Friday, right around 100 and sunshine on Saturday. Sunday, we do have a very slim chance of a late day shower with mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All right, Artesia, let's take a look at the weather. Hobbs got a high of 98, Roswell's 102, Carlsbad 102, and Artesia 101. Is going to be hot and dry. And so hang in there. This week it runs all the way through Saturday, up above 100. It looks like Sunday it's going to cool down, maybe get some more thunderstorms just a little bit, maybe some Saturday night. So it's not going to be too horribly bad at this weekend. So, but we got a few more days of the 100 plus kind of kicking. Hey, let's jump into our calendars here. Artesia Public Schools, seamless summer meals. Don't forget, free meals for children 18 and under. And it's at Park Junior High or Zia Intermediate. Breakfast begins at 8:30, runs to 10. Lunch is 11 to 12:30. Let's see what we're having today and tomorrow. Don't forget. Let's see. Today, for breakfast, a breakfast muffin. For lunch, cheeseburger, curly fries, and some watermelon. Tomorrow, they're going to be sending home for you a blueberry muffin for breakfast and peanut butter and jelly, along with baby carrots, fresh fruit, and a choice of milk for tomorrow. All right. Let's see, at Artesia Senior Meal Site, what are you guys having for lunch today? 5-ounce pepper steak and Mediterranean blend vegetables, sweet potatoes, a wheat roll, and some fruit cocktail. At Artesia Senior Center, what do they got going on today? Boy, it's a full day over there. Exercise video at 8:15. 9 o'clock painting, line dancing begins at 9:30. 1 o'clock bridge, Swedish weaving at 1:30, Texas Hold'em at 2, stained glass at 2:30, all day bridge. And then, let's see, a dance tonight from 7 to 9:30, DJ'd by Kay, and there will be finger foods. All right, at the library. Let's see, 10:30. For the kids, they're going to be having a STEM lab. For teenagers, at 1:30, they're going to be making a bedazzled mirror. This afternoon, 3:30 to 5:30, there's going to be a craft for adults. They're going to paint some flower pots. And then 6 o'clock this evening is after hours game night. All right. And nothing going on at public schools. So let's see who's got a birthday. Happy birthday to Joe Ontiveros, Luis Martinez, and Leslie Blount. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful birthday.
Don't miss the Eddy County Fair in Artesia, July 21st through 25th. Food, fun, and entertainment. Tuesday, July 21st, the Josh Abbott Band, with special guest JD and the Badlands Band. Wednesday, July 22nd is Faith and Family Night with Shane and Shane, and special guest Eli Gable. Thursday night is Hispanic Heritage Night with La Original Banda El Limón y Los Marineros del Norte. And Friday night, Smoking Hot Bull Riding at 7 and Walker Hayes at 9:30.
Yeah, we fancy like Applebee's on a date night.
Tickets on sale now at EddieCountyFair.com. Don't miss all the fun at the Eddy County Fair, July 21st through 25th at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Presenting sponsors, Devon Energy, ConocoPhillips, and 111 Beef Republic. Ad paid for by Artesia and Eddy County Lodgers Tax.
This is a nasty little termite. It loves nothing better than to eat your house, your subfloors, your walls, around your windows, and then they swarm around taunting you.
We're eating your house. We're eating your house.
You'd like to kill them, wouldn't you? But you don't want trenches dug around your home, and you don't want holes in your foundation. That's where Dow AgroSciences and the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System come to the rescue. The same system that protects the White House can help protect your house. An authorized operator strategically places Centricon stations around your house and then carefully monitors them for termites. If they're found, a professional inserts bait tube devices. The termites take the bait and they die.
I feel like I'm dying.
Kind of like that, only a lot more effective. In fact, Centricon is proven to eliminate the termite colony. Termites are gone with Centricon. No more colony, no more problem. Visit Centricon.com.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today for all of Southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344.
There is a difference.
We're involved in the community. We believe in this area, and we reinvest locally to help the local economy.
Artesia Credit Union, member NCUA. There is a difference.
Hey guys, my name is Mike Duff, family pastor at Faith Baptist Church, and we want to invite you and yours this Sunday at 10:30 a.m. to worship with us. Faith is more than a church, it's a family. Whether you're young or old, whether you have young kids or you're an empty nester, there is always room for one more. So come join us because we're more than a church, we're a family, and we'd love to have you.
Visit fbcartesia.com or stop by 401 South 20th in Artesia.
Worried about your belongings? At Champion Storage, we take security seriously with sturdy fencing, digital cameras, and individual gate codes for every customer. Getting started is easier than ever. Choose your unit, sign up online in minutes, and your gate code will be delivered instantly, so you can get access right away. It's secure, convenient storage made simple. Go to championstorage.com, reserve your space, and relax, knowing your stuff is safe. At Artesia Ford Sales, we've been taking care of your family's automotive needs for 60 years. Now you can get Ford service just the way you want it, without leaving your home. With complimentary Ford pickup and delivery, or our Ford mobile service van, we'll come to you, handle your routine maintenance or light repairs right in your driveway, and get you back on the road fast. Artesia Ford Sales, family owned, family trusted for 60 years. ArtesiaFordSales.com. Schedule your mobile service today.
I see your picture. Your name in lights above it. This is your big debut. It's like a dream come true.
Welcome back, Artesia. All right. I guess I should say good morning, Artesia. That is the name of the show. So, all right. Hey, if you're just joining us, or if you just came in during the commercial break or anything, I kind of rearranged this morning. I did my verse up front, but I want to take a little bit more time to expound on it today, because I think it's an important concept in Scripture, one that I never thought about as a Christian until I really began to study the Scriptures deeply, and to think about and how it applies to my life. And I'm in Hebrews 12, verses 3 through 15. And there's a lot to unpack there, and I'm not going to unpack the whole thing. I kind of want to pull some of the principles off of it and look at it as it applies. Just so you guys know, if you're Hebrews was actually it was the second book I ever preached there. I preached through Ephesians when I first came to the church about 5 years ago. And it took a little over a year for me to get through the book of Ephesians. Hebrews was, I think, 82 weeks, 80 some odd weeks that I preached through the book of Hebrews. It's a complex book. There's so much depth in the book of Hebrews. It's a letter from an unknown author to the Hebrew Christians, so the Jewish Christians in the first century, and the struggles they were facing. Primarily the struggle against going back, abandoning the Christian faith and going back to their historic Jewish faith, going back to the temple, going back to sacrifices. And the author of Hebrews, paints a picture throughout that book of don't go back to the shadows when you have the substance, right? He's saying don't go back to that which has been finished, the old covenant, because the new covenant is here, and this is the culmination of God's plan. We've come to the point where God has sent His Son, in the promise He made in Genesis 3 of the child that would defeat the serpent, and He's trying to point out to them throughout that don't go back, don't let your friends go back, don't be tempted. And it must have been hard because, here they are. They've adopted the teachings of Jesus. They've moved into this new covenant worship, and all of their family and friends are still over here in this old. And they're like, "Hey, what are you doing? You've abandoned God. This is the historic faith that we've practiced for forever. And how can you go and follow this new thing?" You need to come back to the temple. You need to make your sacrifices, all of that. Not accepting the fact that Christ was the fulfillment of all of those sacrifices for us. And so, as the author of Hebrews is working through, he paints that whole picture, and he's giving them encouragement. And he gets here in Hebrews 12, and he's talking about that persecution they're facing. He's talking about the struggles that they're under, because they weren't just cut off from their families. They were cut off from their entire nation. They were cut off from their society. They became outcast immediately for following after Jesus. And so this is what is being talked about in here in this section. And the subtitle of this section is "Do not grow weary." Don't grow weary. Don't get tired, because it's hard. And he starts off by telling them, "Consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself." Of course, he's talking about Jesus there, right? He's talking about the pain and suffering that Jesus endured on their behalf and for them. And so he says, don't grow weary and faint-hearted in the day of persecution, in the day of struggle, because this. And in fact, in verse 4. It's almost kind of a jab. He goes, in your struggle against sin, you haven't resisted to the point of shedding blood yet. He did. His struggle against sin and payment for our sin to the point of shedding blood for us. He goes, it isn't all that bad, is really what he's kind of pointing at. Then he goes on to this exhortation about discipline. And he points to this concept that God disciplines us, and this was the concept I think that caught my eye the most, is thinking about because I spend most of my life just hearing about God's love, and God's love is phenomenal. God's love is boundless, but because He is a loving Father, He does discipline us, and we often forget that. We often think everything should just be peachy keen all day long. Our lives shouldn't have any struggle. Our lives should, but God disciplines us to mature us. And I think we often forget that. And we look at our lives and we bemoan all the struggles and problems we have and how hard it is, and why do I have to go through this? we're acting like insolent children. Here it is. The scriptures are telling us. He says, accept this concept of discipline because it is going to be part of your life because you do have a loving Father in God. He is going to, and we can see that in the Old Testament. All the times God disciplined the nation of Israel. Oftentimes, what we don't realize, and you see it a lot in the book of Hebrews, the path of Israel as a nation, often it reflects to us our path as Christians and our lives as followers of Christ. There's times we're in the wilderness. There's times we're in plenty. There's and it's crossing over that Red Sea, being washed clean in baptism, and being brought to the law at the foot of Mount Sinai and learning the law, and that 40-year period in the desert, maturing into a nation. They matured into a nation. We mature into as Christians in our lives and our walks, and just like Israel, we have to accept that God has set a standard for us. He's called us to a certain life. And not because he's just a cruel, overbearing father. That's not the picture. No, the picture is he knows what's best for us. And when we disobey, when we walk away from it, when we're ignoring it, he disciplines us for our own good. He brings us back to himself through the act of discipline very often. And it says, and what's interesting is down in verse 8, it says, if you're left without discipline, in which all have participated, then you're illegitimate children. If you don't see the discipline of God in your life, if it just isn't there and you're just running wild and free and you're not facing the consequences of your sin, then you're not a child of God. Because a loving Father disciplines his children. So the great fear should be in your heart of the fact that if you're living a life full of sin, and it's paying off for you, and everything seems to be going hunky-dory, understand you're not one of God's children. Because God disciplines his children. He causes us to hurt. He causes us to ache in our hearts when we disobey him. That's what loving our fathers looks like. A child who loves their father should ache at disobeying him. There should be a crushing in their heart when they know they're walking in disobedience. And so unfortunately, if you look around, there's lots of times, especially we as Christians, we sit in a place where we go, well, look at that guy. He's doing everything we're not supposed to do, but look how much he's thriving here. Well, the unfortunate part of that is their punishment is coming. Their punishment will be on the other side. There is no injustice in the world. I know lots of times we think we look around and we see injustice all around us, but that's because we're short-minded. We only see what's right in front of us, and we don't think of the full picture of what God is doing with all of us and over time. There will be justice served. You'll either be covered in the blood of Christ, where he paid for your sins, or you will pay for your own. Don't think you're getting away with it. That's the picture that's being painted here in Hebrews 12 when it says that if you're left without discipline, you're an illegitimate child and not sons. He then goes on to go, you honor your fathers, your earthly fathers, because they disciplined you. How much more so then should you honor God? Then it gets to one of my favorite verses in the book of Hebrews, verse 12. Therefore, because of all this, is what that means, because of everything I just said, lift up your drooping hands and strengthen your weak knees. Quit moping. Quit walking around like everything's horrible. Quit acting as if, it's just woe is me. No. Pick up your drooping hands, strengthen your weak knees, and drive forward, because God has created you for a person. Make straight paths for your feet, meaning follow after Christ, so that what is lame may not be put out of joint, but rather be healed. Strive for peace with everyone and the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. And then there's an exhortation for us to carry one another. See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, and that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled. I look at this piece and I think of the church as a whole. Within the Reformed tradition, we utilize the word Catholic, the small key C, Catholic, meaning universal. It was a word that meant universal, and that's what it meant. It's not the specific Roman Catholic Church. Just speaking of the Church Catholic, all believers, all around us, we have a requirement to carry one another. We separate into our denominations. There's actually nothing horribly bad about that. Everybody's going to practice their traditions and their traditions, but we still have to have love for one another, carry one another, not tear one another down, and ensure that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, and that no root of bitterness grows up in us, because it defiles us. We're to walk with our heads held high, excuse me, knowing that God disciplines us all if we are his children. And so that's my encouragement, ladies and gentlemen, is when you go to Scripture, if you haven't read the book of Hebrews, go sit down and read it, study it. It is a heavy lift. It's probably one of the most complex New Testament books there is, but it is a wonderful read. And little shameless plug here. If you want to hear me preach on this, like I said, there's 80 episodes of it, 80 plus episodes of it, but I think it was a pretty good time in our church that I was going through this. You can go to our app, First Church Artesia. You can go find us just about anywhere there are apps. You can watch us on your TV, on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, all of that. Go down there. There's it's kind of like a Netflix. You can go and there's this series on the book of Hebrews, and you can watch them one right after another. I'm not gonna say the recording quality is great because I'm not that great of a camera person, but as you're working through the book of Hebrews, I encourage you, just see the encouragement of Christ and the encouragement of God as we walk forward, and we're not to have weak knees, not to be beaten down by this world, not to be beaten down by the struggles that are in our life. I encourage you to jump in there. All right, Artesia, thanks for listening to that. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go to our mid-hour news break, and then we'll come back right after this.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. President Trump says he believes the ceasefire with Iran is over. He says he's not sure he wants a deal anymore and says the U.S. should finish the job. But he also insists that continued attacks don't mean a return to war. Mediators are scrambling to save the interim deal. Nominations are opening in a Labour Party election to replace Keir Starmer as Britain's Prime Minister. Former Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham is expected to be the sole candidate. He needs at least 80 signatures from Labour lawmakers to run, a target he's likely to exceed. Burnham is highly likely to formally become Prime Minister on July 20th. President Trump's plan to build a triumphal arch that would alter the Washington, D.C. skyline getting another review from a federal agency whose approval he needs to build it. This is SRN News.
Here's a song for Lowell's Pharmacy, and when it's over, I'll explain why we're called the Family Pharmacy.
You and your family getting all the things you need, where personal service is always guaranteed. Prescriptions filled faster with dependability. That is why we're called the Family Pharmacy.
At Lowell's Pharmacy, we are called the Family Pharmacy. Let me spell it out for you. The F stands for fair prices and everything. The A is for accurate prescription service. M for the many professional services we provide. The I is for immediate service. L for the luxury of getting everything you need in just one place. And the Y is for you.
And that is why we're called the Family Pharmacy.
Lowell's Pharmacy, 612 North 13th, across from the hospital in the Artesia Professional Building. Lowell's Pharmacy.
Here's something nobody mentions about every AI tool you love. They run on giant data centers, and nobody wants one of these things right next door. I'm Kim Commando for WebRoot. WebRoot Essentials Antivirus protects all your devices without slowing them down. Right now, get 62% off at webroot.com/Kim. Next week, I'm a guest on one of our affiliate stations in a small town where folks are fighting to keep an AI data center out. I don't blame them. These things are monsters. The average site sprawls more than 200 acres. That's 450 football fields, buildings bigger than airplane hangars, and cooling fans that roar day and night. They swallow your land, your water, and your power, and barely hire a soul. So before the bulldozers show up, ask the hard questions. How much water? How much power? And how many real jobs? Here's the twist. At least 6 companies are already racing to build these things in space. Hey, join a million folks who get my free 5-star rated newsletter right now at getkim.com. I've tried a lot of antivirus software over the years, and when something better comes along, I switch. That's why I've moved to WebRoot Essentials. WebRoot Essentials is a cloud-based AI-powered antivirus app that was designed to evolve with today's threats. It's fast, lightweight protection that works across all my devices without slowing me down. If you need another reason to switch, get this. WebRoot Essentials recently ranked number 1 in independent Passmark performance studies against 9 other brands, like Norton, McAfee, and even Microsoft Defender. The study found that WebRoot Essentials scans 6 times faster, uses far less memory, and takes up 33% less space on your computer. I've seen the difference WebRoot has made for my devices, and now you can too. My listeners get 62% off WebRoot Essentials at webroot.com/Kim. Get the number 1 ranked antivirus protection for just $19 a year right now at webroot.com/Kim. Webroot.com/Kim. Go now while you're thinking about it. Webroot.com/Kim.
Turpin Son Mortuary of Artesia presents a listing of today's obituaries. Today we have no new obituaries, and one reminder. Services are scheduled for 10 a.m. on July 9th at Our Lady of Grace for Sophia Ticio of Artesia, New Mexico. Miss Ticio, 80, passed away on July 2nd. Father VJ will officiate the services. Burial will follow at the Woodbine Cemetery. This listing has been presented as a service by Turpin Son Mortuary of Artesia. We make it personal.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No big changes to the hot and dry pattern. We'll be at about 102 for the afternoon high today. Lots of sunshine and a little bit breezy. Overnight, low 70s and a few clouds. We're between 100 and 105 and sunny on Friday, right around 100 and sunshine on Saturday. Sunday, we do have a very slim chance of a late day shower with mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All right, Artesia, it's going to be hot and warm out there. Luckily, it doesn't look like it's going to get too windy today, though. So that's there's a plus right there. Looking forward, looking positively. Let's jump into some of our flyers today. First one I got on the top of my pile here is the Presidential Prayer Initiative weekly prayer meetings. They're going to continue through July 30th at 10 a.m. at Lucky Duck Grill. After that, the prayer meetings will continue through Election Day, meeting every Thursday at the Republican headquarters located at 812 West Main Street in Artesia. So go and join the people as they pray for our nation. All right, Artesia First Baptist Seek First Sports Flag Football. Let's see. They've done their preparation, and they are in their practices. Let's see, they've got a practice today on the 9th, and they've got a scrimmage tomorrow on the 10th, and then the games will begin at the end of the month on the 27th. And so they are asking for volunteers. So if you're interested and you would like to help out, all you gotta do is contact Pastor Ben at First Baptist Church. They need scorekeepers, timekeepers, helpers to set up, and helpers to tear down. Contact First Baptist Church at 575-748-1308. Cavern Theater in Carlsbad announces Kids Thursday Matinee. All showings are at 2 p.m. on Thursdays. And today's showing will be, I don't know if I can read that, kind of small. Detective Pikachu. So Detective Pikachu today. All right, let's check on them blood drives. I say to add to the blood drive thing, I gotta remember that news release I read on Tuesday. If you're type O blood, they are really, really low on that, and so they could use it. So let's see. The next one is today, the 9th, at the New Mexico Department of Transportation Conference Room. That's at 4505 West 2nd Street in Roswell from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. All right, food distribution. Tomorrow, July 10th, in Carlsbad and Artesia. If you're in Carlsbad, head on over at 9 a.m. to Epworth Methodist Fellowship at 1406 West Blodgett. And if you're here in Artesia, 7 a.m. at West Main Baptist Church at 1701 West Main Street. All right. Artesia Public Library presents Archaeologist for a Day. This Friday, July 10th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Artesia Historical Museum and Arts Center in the Gardens there at 505 West Richardson Avenue. Join us for an adventure and step into the role of a junior archaeologist for a fossil dig. Event highlights will be a dig site exploration, dinosaur bone discoveries, and dinosaur snacks. For more information, you can check out the artesiamuseum.org website or contact, you can call 575-748-2390. Excuse me. United Way 2026 Stuff the Bus with School Supplies is happening this weekend, July 10th through 12th in Carlsbad. Let's see. They're at a number of different places. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they are going to be all over up there. If you want to check that out, go to the United Way website of Eddy County. I see on Friday, they're going to be at ConocoPhillips and Flogistics, and then there are all kinds of places that they're going to be going to gather up supplies for Stuff the Bus. All right. Hey, Project Heart Start. That'll be happening this Saturday. We spoke to them about this the other day on Tuesday. Learn how to save a life at CVE. That's in the community room there at CVE, 1403 North 13th here in Artesia. Saturday, July 11th at 10 a.m. And she said about an hour or so. Not very long. Completely free to the public. Go up there, learn how to do hands-on CPR, hands-only CPR, how to use an AED, and how to save a choking victim. All right. The Artesia Arts Council presents Missoula Children's Theater Summer 2026. They're all up there learning their parts and getting prepared. Performances start tomorrow, July 10th and 11th at the Ocotillo. And so if you're interested in going and attending that, go check out artesiaartscouncil.com or call 575-746-4212. All right. Oh, and they are presenting... Wait, no, that's different. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm mixing up things. Missoula Children's Theater is also going to be in Carlsbad, and their performance is this weekend as well, July 11th at 3 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. and at the PR Leva Auditorium at 800 West Church Street. All right. Carlsbad Area Art Association is holding a hands-on workshop. And I'm going to give this name a shot. I don't know that I'm going to do a great job. Suminagashi, the Japanese art of water marbling, with Haley Jones. That'll be happening this Saturday, July 11th from 11 to 1 p.m. It's for ages 13 and up, and it'll be at the Artist Gallery in Carlsbad. Members only $15, non-members $20, and you can register online at carlsbadart.com. All right, let's see. Hermosa Church of Christ Children and Family Ministry is holding an event. Let's see. Every Sunday, it looks like in the month of July into August. And this Sunday on the 12th, they're going to be holding bingo and homemade ice cream. That'll be at 2512 West Bush Avenue at 5 p.m. If you want to go be a part of that. All right. Artesia General Hospital Community Health and Safety Fair happening next Saturday, July 18th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Artesia General Hospital. For more information, you can call 575-736-8116. All right. Let's do a couple more here. Oil Patch Market. Hey, just we've talked about it a little bit, but the Oil Patch Market is moving from the Derrick floor over to the Heritage parking lot. The next one will be on July 18th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Same Oil Patch Market, new spot, and so head on over and check that out. The 7th Annual School Supply Drive, presented by Written in Red Foundation, is going on. They're accepting donations through July 31st. This is for students in school districts in Artesia, Cloudcroft, Hagerman, and Lake Arthur. All you got to do is drop off school supplies in their front lobby at First American Bank in Artesia. Everything from crowns, colored pencils, dry erase markers, scissors. They said Fisker scissors. They want the good stuff. Loose leaf notebooks, wide rule, college rule, all kinds of stuff. Pretty much you name it, they're looking for school supplies for our kids. And I'll do this last one and then take a quick commercial break and we'll come back and close it out. Artesia Youth Soccer Association. Registration is open from June 1st to July 23rd. Fee is for kids to play this year is $85. Get ready for soccer. You get a uniform, shirt, shorts, and socks will be provided. And they were offering the following divisions: U6, U8, U10 boys and girls, and then U12 and U15 co-ed. All kids age of 4 by end of July are eligible to play, all the way through age 14 on or before July 31st of this year. Division will be based on the age the child is or will be by July 31st. All right. You can call Levi at 575-703-0653 or check them out on Facebook, Artesia Youth Soccer Association. All right. Awesome. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break and we'll come back and close out this hour.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Oil prices rose and stock markets dropped in shaky trading worldwide Wednesday after President Donald Trump raised doubts about the temporary truce in the war with Iran. Fed policymakers were split on the future of interest rates at their June meeting, with officials offering competing cases for hikes or cuts. That's according to minutes released on Wednesday. The International Monetary Fund on Wednesday modestly downgraded its outlook for the world economy this year, citing the energy shock caused by the Iran war. The IMF now expects the global economy to expand by a sluggish 3% in 2026. U.S. Airlines spent $6.66 billion on jet fuel in May. The May figure was 84% higher than a year earlier. Hyundai is recalling over 325,000 vehicles due to rear-view cameras that may not display properly. The recall affects certain 2018 to 2020 Odyssey vehicles. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Do you have missing teeth or would like them replaced? If you think dental implants are not affordable, think again. At Maupin & Brown Dentistry, their goal has always been to provide the highest quality dentistry in a state-of-the-art office at a reasonable price. They routinely treat patients that have traveled out of town for a consultation but cannot afford the treatment quoted. If this sounds like your story, come in today. As one of New Mexico's largest users of the world-class Nobel implants, they're able to purchase in volume and pass the savings on to you. So if you're missing a tooth or have loose dentures, call today for a free evaluation, which includes a free 3D x-ray. You'll be given treatment options and an honest evaluation with no hard sell, no arm twisting. But don't take our word for it. Just ask one of the thousands of patients they've treated. Maupin & Brown Dentistry, your choice for experienced, affordable, state-of-the-art dentistry. Call 627-0141 or visit maupinbrown.com.
Craving a taste of New Mexico? Come to Adobe Rose Restaurant in Artesia. Nestled in the heart of Artesia, savor Chef Chloe's award-winning Southwestern dishes like the legendary Dr. Pepper braised lamb and even more fresh, never frozen Southwest favorites and flavors. Enjoy your favorite cocktail, beer, or wine. Dine in our cozy main room or relax in the stunning courtyard with live music on weekends. Located just off 13th Street in Artesia, Adobe Rose is your oasis of fine dining. Call 575-746-6157. Adobe Rose, where New Mexico blooms.
Welcome to Answers with Ken Ham. The account of origins presented in the Genesis is a simple but factual presentation of actual events and provides reliable basis for man's worldview and a framework for scientific investigation into the question of the origin and history of life. Answers with Ken Ham is brought to you by Harvest Fellowship at 2307 West Main in Artesia. Call Pastor Ronnie Williams at 746-6195. Now, today's Answers with Ken Ham.
Nearly 100,000 deaths. This is Ken Ham, often a radio and TV program guest speaker on the Bible's authority and reliability. A few months ago, the media announced the nation of Canada would hit a milestone this summer. Doctors would kill their 100,000th patient through their medical assistance in dying program. Canada now euthanizes more people than dogs. Human life is increasingly being treated across the West as of less value than a dog. But as Christians, we must uphold the sanctity of every human life. We're all made in God's image, and we don't have the authority to decide who lives and who dies. Because of sin, we all die, but Jesus came and died in our place so that we could have eternal life with Him.
Subscribe to receive daily email insights from Ken Ham when you visit Answers.
All right, welcome back, Artesia. I just got a few minutes to close out the hour. There was an announcement in there that I missed. So I don't know if you guys are out driving around town, but I was coming down First Street from my house, and all of a sudden there's water flowing everywhere. I was like, what in the world's going on? And then I get into the office here, and I see this from the Office of the Fire Marshal. Attention residents and business owners, the Artesia Fire Department and City Water Department will be conducting routine fire hydrant testing and maintenance throughout the community. If you see a fire hydrant flowing with water, please do not be alarmed. This is part of the scheduled maintenance program to ensure hydrants are ready for emergency use. Businesses with fire sprinkler or alarm systems may experience temporary water pressure fluctuations that could generate alarm signals. If your building's fire alarm sounds, always follow normal evacuation procedures unless directed otherwise by emergency personnel. For more information, contact the Artesia Fire Department Marshal's office. So there's, streets are going to be kind of full of water in different areas as they work their way around and check out all of our fire hydrants and make sure they're working for our safety. Hey, I wanted to hit up, I had a few minutes, I wanted to hit up a kind of an overview schedule of what's going to happen at the fair. So, a few changes this year, a lot going on. I'll tell you what, if you don't go to the fair for any other reason other than to go see that new building, I'm telling you, you got to go see this thing. I was out there yesterday. It's breathtaking. It's massive. It's so cool that we've got people that have put so much effort and money and time into getting this built for us. And it's just going to take this fair. This fair is already next level. I don't know if any of you guys realize that, but like it's huge, fair that, and it benefits our kids so much. But now we're like stepping into the pros with this building. So it's pretty amazing. So the fair officially opens up at 8 a.m. on Tuesday, July 21st. All right. And they're going to start with you're going to have all the different shows and everything else. But something new this year is we're adding a concert day. There's going to be concerts every night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night. So you can go out and see a concert every single night during this one. The first night is JD and the Badlands and the Josh Abbott Band. They kick off at 7 p.m. JD and the Badlands comes on at 7. Josh Abbott at 8:15 p.m. on Tuesday night. And then don't forget, like the vendors open up that day. The vendor barns will be open. All kinds of awesome vendors come in. Tons of stuff to look at. If you go through the white barn, you'll be able to see all the exhibits and projects the kids have done throughout the year and entered, and not even just kids, but local people have entered into all the competitions. It's really cool to go look at all that. And then Wednesday night, don't forget Carnival's there the whole time. Carnival starts on Tuesday night, goes all the way through Saturday. Wednesday night is our Faith and Family Worship Night. And man, I just beg you, come out to this thing. One, it's going to be an awesome show, but we just want to hang out with you. We want to hang out with fellow believers and worship the Lord as a city and as a county, having everyone come together. What a powerful message that sends to the people around here is that we are a place of faith, and that we can see the church, even though for all of our little differences here and there and our different ways of doing things and all of that stuff, we can see each other as brothers and sisters in Christ, stand together united and be led in worship of the Lord. And Shane is going to do that, and they're going to do a phenomenal job. I can't wait to meet these guys and hang out with them and to worship with them. Then on Thursday, of course, more animal shows all throughout the day. That just goes on like crazy. If you want to watch just organized chaos, like come out there and watch these kids with their animals and how well they pull that together and then show these animals. The kids are true professionals. Thursday night is Tejano night, and I'll take another shot at the names here. La Original Banda El Limón and Los Marineros del Norte. And man, I'll tell you what, that's party night. That thing is huge, and it's big. So if you're into Tejano music, go out and check that out. Then Friday night, don't forget about the Smoking Hot Bulls and Walker Hayes, Fancy Like. You guys know that song, Fancy Like Applebee's. And absolutely love the guy. Great. Can't wait to see him in concert as well. And then Saturday is kind of the closer. I've got the auction and everything they got there, but the carnival's going all the way through. There's anvil toss, everything else, and I got to go. Thank you so much, Artesia, for listening first hour. We'll see you next hour, and God bless.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia.
This hour from Town Hall, I'm John Scott. The exchange of fire between the U.S. and Iran continues for another day Thursday.
Sirens early Thursday in Kuwait City as Iran again targeted Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar with retaliatory fire after U.S. forces launched new airstrikes on Iran. The attacks came hours after President Trump said recent Iranian strikes on ships in the Strait of Hormuz signaled the end of the ceasefire.
They're bad people. And frankly, I don't want to waste my time with them.
Thursday's attacks appeared bigger all round. U.S. Central Command said it hit some 90 targets, and Iranian state media reported explosions in several locations, including Bushehr. I'm Ben Thomas.
Graham Plattner drops out of the Senate race, allowing Maine Democrats to replace him. More from correspondent Laura Winters.
Graham Plattner has dropped out of the Maine Senate race. Top Democrat, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, called on him to step aside as an ex-girlfriend came forward, accusing him of breaking into her home and sexually assaulting her. He releases a video on his X page denying any wrongdoing.
I have faced some very serious allegations, and I just want to make it clear. This is all false. The things that have been claimed did not happen.
Laura Winters reporting.
Utah prosecutors planning to play audio clips in open court of law enforcement officials interviewing the roommate of the man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson, charged with aggravated murder and has not entered a plea. He turned himself in a day after that fatal shooting. President Trump announcing at a NATO summit in Turkey the U.S. will allow Ukraine to manufacture Patriot air defense systems. This decision marks a significant shift as the U.S. had previously resisted this move. More on these stories from townhall.com.
Are you tired of feeling lousy? Maybe you had a scare at your last checkup or just walking hurts? When enough is enough, call PhD Weight Loss. When I had enough 4 years and 53 pounds ago, I knew I couldn't do it alone. I'm Mike Gallagher for PhD Weight Loss. Best phone call I ever made. They were right with me. They still are today. Right now, mention Mike. You'll get 2 free weeks added to the program, and they'll pay for the cost of your food. $1,500 value. Call 864-644-1900, 864-644-1900, or visit myphdweightloss.com.
Maybe this is you too. There is enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It's amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven. And yeah, you could save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Here's the number. They're easy to talk to. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE.
An AI program in the state of Utah has sparked a vigorous debate. Keith Peters reports.
That debate is about the role of the technology in healthcare. Utah is the first state in the nation to allow AI to renew prescriptions for patients. Previously, that role had always been reserved for doctors and other medically licensed professionals. Technically, state and federal laws don't allow AI programs to handle prescriptions, but officials in Utah have waived those requirements for Doctronic, maker of the AI chatbot that converses with patients and can send refill orders to their pharmacy. The Federal Food and Drug Administration has signaled it doesn't plan to intervene. Keith Peters, Washington.
Microsoft announcing it's cutting 4,800 jobs, including many in its Xbox division. Represents about 2.1% of its global workforce. Xbox CEO Ashish Sharma, who took over earlier this year, says the industry is not healthy. News at townhall.com. A fatal shooting during a Texas ICE operation drawing lots of attention.
Authorities say a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officer shot and killed Lorenzo Salgado Araujo in Houston during an operation after he attempted to evade arrest in his vehicle. The Department of Homeland Security said the shooting occurred during a targeted operation against the Mexican national who was in the U.S. without legal permission. The shooting has drawn calls from some local Democratic officials for an independent investigation. This is at least the 8th death from an encounter with federal immigration officials since the start of the Trump administration's intense immigration enforcement campaign. I'm Haya Panjwani.
New World screwworm cases in dogs in Texas and New Mexico, prompting warnings from veterinarians and humane societies that pet owners need to remain vigilant to protect their animals. Animal health experts say pet owners should examine the animals regularly, give them prescription flea and tick medication if need be. More on these stories at townhall.com.
As KSVP celebrates 80 years of broadcasting in 2026, one of our longest-running features is the KSVIP. We love recognizing our local residents and listeners for great accomplishments in their lives. If it's a birthday, anniversary, promotion, retirement, a new family member, you name it, they're worthy of being a KSVIP. To nominate a special person who will receive recognition on the radio and a flower from Nell's Floral, call 575-746-2751.
crazy about a shot glass man. All right, welcome back, Artesia. It is Thursday, July 9th, the 8 o'clock hour. I'm your host, Scott Pettis. And hey, we've got a riveting hour of the Jeff and Mutt Show lined up for you. Jeff's walking in. He's going to sit down and maybe the boss man, I don't know if he can hear us outside, but maybe he'll come in and we'll have the stroke and seizure show. So let me turn you on, Jeff. I forgot to hit your microphone. Oh, man. I finally found something that is more divisive in Artesia than what church you go to.
Oh.
The online discussion about data centers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's getting, there's a lot of back and forth going on right now. And to be honest, like, I'm still reserving judgment. I don't know. You know, I heard Kim Commando's deal last hour. Did you hear her talking about
part of it?
Yeah, I mean, the part that was mind-boggling to me, and we'll have to get Gene's take on data centers at some point too. I wonder where he's at on this.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Okay. Well,
with Haley also.
Yeah.
Because of the data center that's on the edge.
Yeah, it's actually in Chaves County,
but it's on the edge.
Like setting up against the border.
Yeah.
Did you hear? But they said 200 acres.
Yeah.
That's mind-boggling. Like, our family owns about 100 acres on the end of town, out there at the end of Grant Street. That's a big piece of land. I was flying over it the other day, skydiving. I was like, that's a huge chunk of land we got down there. You don't necessarily notice when you're driving around it, but you're like, get up above it, like, that's a big old piece of land. And I'm thinking 2 of those in just buildings. That's insane.
And 1 billion gallons of water a year.
Yeah, but my curiosity is that pulling out 1 billion fresh gallons of water out of the ground? Or is it based upon the daily usage and like some of that's recycled? And I don't know.
From what I understand, from what I've read, and I'm no expert.
Yeah.
But no, that's what is used. Not including recycling that water.
Okay.
It's that 1 billion gallons. And that's a weird...
I do find it interesting, though. If these things have got to be kept so cool, is New Mexico and West Texas the place you want to put them? Like, it's hot here, man.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of empty land up in North Dakota and Montana. Wouldn't it make a little more sense to go, hey, let's go up there?
Hey, Alaska. It's pretty cold. And
there's a lot of empty land in Alaska. You might be able to reduce your water usage by putting it somewhere where it's really, really cold. Canada would seem like a really good candidate for this. Northern Canada, it's wide open. There's nothing
I'm thinking
up there.
Alaska, so we can keep it.
Yeah.
And we've got all the oil
Canada's
there
gonna be the
to build the
51st state,
Yeah, but do we really want to give all the data to our redheaded stepchild?
Yeah.
Just put them back in the attic and let them chill there.
Yeah, my grok will start talking to me in a Canadian accent. But you had mentioned earlier in the break that they're talking about like putting them in outer space.
Yeah.
And you were like Skynet.
Yeah.
I was like, and like in my mind, I'm thinking like, how do you take 200 acres of structure and put it into something you stick in the sky? And all I could think is the big cube from Star Trek Next Generation. It's like a Borg collective floating around the Earth,
They're going to build it with 3D printers up there.
Exactly.
It's just going to be a rocket and a 3D printer, and boom.
Yeah. Like how much per diem do you get as a construction worker in space to build the data center? Because you can't launch that thing up there. You're going to have to build it in space. Technology always kind of boggles my mind, right?
Yeah.
Like even stuff we take for granted. That pickup sitting out there, like I get in there and I'm going, who thought of this? Like were they're just like, there's people right now just sitting around thinking of like, oh, if I put this together. Engineering minds always amaze me.
The millions of minds who, okay, someone created this.
Yeah.
And then someone else says, oh,
I can make it better.
Let's do this. And then someone else and everyone. And so all of a sudden that Model T is now.
Yeah. I'm just kind of worried that 100 years from now, everybody that's opposing this, if we all go to oppose it and just fight it, tooth and nail, we're going to look as dumb as the people who were opposing the railroad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what was it? It wasn't Paul Bunyan. John Henry.
Yeah.
John Henry and the railroad story from when we were kids, and the machine can lay the tracks faster than John Henry could or whatever. And I'm going, 100 years from now, they're going to look at us like we're imbeciles. Why are you guys so worried about this? Because it's going to be so.
Why were you working? Didn't you get your little droid to take care of that?
Yeah, exactly. But
my droid ate my homework. I
don't know. And and I look at I'm a big cost versus benefits guy. What are the costs? Not just fiscally money, but what are the costs on the environment here? And, for us, and not a whole lot of people work at data centers.
Right. It's AI.
Because it runs itself type thing. And it's like, here, let me run the pump, make sure the pump's on the water's going through type thing, I guess. But I am, I'm like, is it going to bring any financial benefit to the area? I don't know. Is the issues with the water going to outweigh? But I just don't want to be the guy that has the guttural reaction to go, no, I'm going, no, that,
yeah.
There's always the worry, and this is a constant worry with everything, at least it should be in your mind, is it going to get ramrodded through without all the proper, like, hey, let's talk about this type thing? Are we in that big of a rush?
Yeah.
AI seems to be doing all right now. Yeah, I know these data centers, once they start popping up all over the nation, like AI its capabilities are going to grow multifold, all at once, and it's going to be, but is it going to make my internet here better? I don't know. I doubt it.
Yeah.
So I don't, like, I think there has to be a logical discussion on this, and my thing would be, man, I've got the hiccups. It's driving me crazy. My thing would be is like
spoonful of sugar.
A spoonful of sugar, helps the medicine go down.
Oh, it'll stop hiccups.
I've never heard that cure. I've heard a lot of cures, but never a spoonful of sugar.
I thought that my aunt was, even though you're an amazing lawyer, top your class at William & Mary, this is not. Oh, wow.
It actually works.
Okay, thank you. I apologize again.
Plus, you got a good reason to eat a spoonful of sugar.
Yeah.
When we were kids, we just did it for fun. Nah. But, no, I think what my big deal is I would really, sometimes the wrong words come to head, exhort, I guess, or encourage our senators and all of that to be very diligent in this. Don't just jump on the bandwagon of for or against.
Yeah.
And hey, that sounds wonderful, and not even think about the second and third order effects. I don't know if most people probably don't use that, but we always talked about in combat, if I'm gonna go fight this guy over here. I know these bad guys are over here. I'm gonna go fight them. What are the second and third order effects? What's going to come out of that?
Yeah.
And that's what I want. I really hope that they're diligent. They're not just, like, no, it's horrible. It's never going to work. It's going to be so bad for us. And then we lose out on some kind of economic benefit that there could have been that.
We would prefer that our the politicians research with actual data.
Yeah.
And not social media people's opinions.
Yeah. Please go talk to experts.
Yeah.
You know, call experts in. Let's get some people in here that can actually tell us, that what's actually going to happen. I love Kim Commando, but I don't think she's the expert I'm calling in on this. But I just don't. But I remember this. What was it, in the 80s when they built the whip plant, and everybody, oh, that's horrible, and here we are, and it's been a great economic boom for Carlsbad. You know, I mean, a lot of people have jobs and stuff. A
lot of people have really good careers. Out there.
Exactly.
It's done a lot of. It's had a good economical impact on Carlsbad and southeastern New Mexico.
Yeah, and everybody was just losing their minds. I remember. I was just a kid when it was happening.
Yeah, I was in Park, or I remember around Park. They brought one of the trucks with what holds the material to take down, and
the container truck.
Yeah,
I see them every once in a while still.
Yeah,
it's usually like early in the morning or late at night that they're coming through town, but they right down 285. But yeah, so I just go, let's be reasonable. Everybody, and a lot of people online are, well, I've done my research. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just like health stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, well, they find the latest and greatest thing. Like, well, I did my research. What people don't understand about research papers and the research is no one goes into it completely unbiased into these research things. They're going in to prove something, right? Very rarely do you see they went into it without a preconceived notion of what they're trying to prove.
Correct.
And all data can be twisted.
Oh yeah.
And then the data people put out into the social media and the internet sphere is meant to persuade you.
Yeah.
So they're what's being written, and the algorithms will feed you more of what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're out there and you're researching why are data centers bad, there's going to give you a ton of research on why they're bad. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what's just going to keep feeding. And every time you open up another one of those pages, the algorithm feeds you more of what you want. Right? It's designed to do that, to keep you coming back.
Well,
because if you go out there on the internet and you search, why are these bad, and nothing comes back to to feed you, you're going to quit using it. You're going to quit looking. Oh, fine.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It doesn't know. And I go, ladies and gentlemen, we've got to think this through.
With data, you have to phrase the question properly.
Yeah.
But you can reword that question that you're asking that set of data.
Mm-hmm.
You can reframe that question to give you the answer that you want.
Oh, yeah.
I can take the same set of data, you and a person completely opposing you.
Yeah.
I can take that exact same set of data and make it look like both of you are right.
Yeah.
I can give you one page that shows how amazing and perfect your plan is.
Yeah.
Well, I can take that exact same set of data, change the questions, the ands, ifs, ors, and he's correct now.
Well, in AI, I love it. It's so helpful. Speeds up my research time, but I'm always wary of it because I can't even tell you how many times I've plugged in something, trying to get an answer on something, and I plug it into AI, and it comes back and it gives me what I know to be a false interpretation or false information, and I'll go, well, wait a minute. According to this here, this is the situation, and it'll go, you know what? You're right. Like I've had a drug does it to me. You're correct. I made a mistake there. Oh, okay. At least the machine can realize it's wrong sometimes.
Does a lot better than most of us.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I'm not wrong. I'm not. No.
Absolutely. No, you're just not understanding. You're just not understanding.
Maybe someday you'll be able to understand.
Yeah, that's the entire ground upon which liberal thinking is built.
Yeah.
Well, you just don't understand, and so when we left our last denomination because it's going woke, And we straight up told them, this is why we're leaving. We see what you're doing, and we know where it's going because we've seen it before. We're departing from you. We're not going to be part of what you got going on. And they sent people down to talk to us. They're like, well, I just think you have false information. You just don't understand. I heard that so many times I was getting angry.
Yeah.
And some of my church members got angry at them. Like, do you think we're stupid?
Right.
But that's that deal is, and we all have to avoid that because we do have biases. We all look at everything through lenses, and oftentimes we go, well, but everything I've read, well, but have you read everything? That's my question. Everything you've read is agreed with you, but have you read everything? There's still more out there.
And have you looked at that through someone else's eyes?
Yeah.
Because your worldview controls everything.
Yeah.
That's something I've been writing about.
That is a great point to bring into the next segment, but we're going to go ahead and hit the weather and a commercial break, and we'll carry on with that after this break.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No big changes to the hot and dry pattern. We'll be at about 102 for the afternoon high today. Lots of sunshine and a little bit breezy. Overnight, low 70s and a few clouds. We're between 100 and 105 and sunny on Friday, right around 100 and sunshine on Saturday. Sunday, we do have a very slim chance of a late day shower with mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hey Roswell, celebrate America's 250th birthday with massive savings and more for your trade during the Red, White, and Blue Book sales event at Roswell Ford. Actually, we really don't need a Blue Book. We need your trade, and we need it right now. We'll do whatever it takes to terminate your current loan or lease, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Plus, this is the final week to get employee pricing for all. You heard right. This is your last chance to pay what we pay on our entire lineup of new Fords. So there's never been a better time to trade and upgrade to a new Ford and get massive savings. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Hurry in for massive savings, more for your trade, and employee pricing for all. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Employee pricing excludes Raptor Series 2026 Super Duties, Lariat Package and up, 2025 and 2026 Transit Wagon, standard exclusions, and final pay units.
Exciting news for Southeast New Mexico. The Advanced Heart and Vascular Center of New Mexico in Carlsbad, home to Dr. Amanda Ryan's trusted cardiology care for over 13 years, is now part of Current Clinic. That means world-class electrophysiology services right here in Southeast New Mexico. No more 3-hour drives to see a specialist. Current Clinic is bringing advanced, life-changing treatment for atrial fibrillation, AFib, and other heart rhythm disorders close to home. Early intervention for AFib can dramatically lower your risk of stroke, and our goal is to help our community understand just how important that is. You and your loved ones deserve comprehensive, cutting-edge heart care without leaving town. If you're experiencing an irregular heartbeat or AFib symptoms, expert care is now available locally. Visit currentclinic.com today to learn more and schedule your consultation. Current Clinic, easy access to comprehensive AFib care right here in Southeast New Mexico.
It is much easier to prevent business fraud than to clean up the damage after fraudulent activities. First American Bank is committed to introducing the newest technology and treasury management solutions. With First American Bank as your business partner, we can help you with our recommended fraud prevention products and best practices to proactively keep your business finances more secure. Talk to a banker today to find out more. First American Bank, your local first community bank since 1903. Member FDIC.
Attention small business owners. Tired of the hassle of managing IT? PVT Internet for Small Business is here to help. With our Smart Biz Service and PVT Command Works app, you get business-grade internet and Wi-Fi without the hassle. Perfect for hospitality, retail, industrial, and professional services. Plus, our 24/7 customer support ensures you're never alone. Sign up today and let PVT Smart Biz handle the tech so you can focus on your business. Elevate your business with PVT Internet. Visit pvt.com or call 575-748-1241 to sign up now.
Whether you're buying your first home, selling, adding to your investment portfolio, or finally getting that shop with acreage for your forever home, Century 21 Black Gold is by your side from start to finish. Century 21 Black Gold is the premier full-service real estate brokerage in Artesia, striving to treat each client, property, and transaction with care, knowledge, and professionalism. Your home is our priority. Century 21 Black Gold Brokerage. We don't just sell houses. We hand you the keys to your next chapter. Give us a call today, 575-736-0021.
Your business runs year-round. So does ours. Block Advisors at H&R Block provides small business expertise beyond just taxes. From post-tax filing support to payroll and bookkeeping, we are always in your corner through tax day and every day, all year long. Because your passion never takes a day off. Let's talk business. Schedule an appointment today at blockadvisors.com/smallbiz or 502 West Texas Avenue, Suite A, Artesia.
All the old paintings on the tomb, they do the sand dance, don't you know? If they move too quick, oh, hey, oh, falling down like a domino. All the best are men by then, now they got their money on a bed. Go crocodile.
All right. Good morning, Artesia. The Jeff and Mutt Show continues.
Oh, yeah.
So you said in the last segment, you ended at the last segment. I'm trying to remember how you said it, but it made me think of something, right? Basically not understanding the other person's position, right?
Yeah.
Looking at it through their eyes, looking at it through their lens, and understanding it. This is an interesting thing that it happened to me over the years. I grew up as a Baptist in the Baptist church, went to a Baptist seminary, everything else. I was an ardent online arguer with Presbyterians about infant baptism, and I watched all the debates about infant baptism versus creedal baptism or baptism by faith or by profession of faith. And, I was wholly convinced in my position all of my life till I was 46. And something struck me at a certain point about it all. And I realized that in every debate I listened to, according to me, the guy who held my position won. He crushed him. Like there was never a debate I watched that like the other guy like convinced me.
Right.
And then I don't remember who I heard it from, or what I don't remember what person I heard it from, but they said, if you're going to debate something, you need to be able to articulate your opponent's position as well or better than they do.
Yeah.
So you need to go actually study their side of the argument and then come back and debate it. So I decided to do that on the issue of baptism. And after about a year or so, maybe a little longer, of studying the other side's position, I became wholly convinced by their position.
Yeah.
Nobody had to argue with me. Like I didn't need someone arguing with me to convince me. Well, the thing I find most about arguments is no one's ever convinced by someone else arguing back with them.
Right.
Like if you want to know that your position is truly right, go study your opponent's position. Go to be able to see all of their arguments for what they were. Go study the reports. So like we said earlier, you can take that data and make it say two different things, right? People do that with scripture.
Yeah.
We like, well, according to this passage, I'm like, well, according to that passage, it says this,
Right.
like, come on, seriously.
You can cherry pick whatever you want and reframe what it means.
And just understanding that we never come to any bit of data or information neutrally. We already come with preconceived notions. they're actually in the world of apologetics, we call them presuppositions. You're presupposed to this thing. There's certain things you just assume, and because those things that you assume, you read it into the situation that you're in. And so, going back to this argument about these data centers, I don't have time right now. But I want to read everything on both sides of this, and I'm not saying I'm neutral. I'm saying I'm unconvinced on either side. There's one direction I lean. I'm always for advancement. So my presupposition is advancement in technology is always good, right? That's a presupposition, I think. I am not a person who says status quo's acceptable.
Right.
Like if we can improve, let's improve. Constantly improving your position.
It's your job every day. Be better than you were yesterday.
Yeah, suck less tomorrow. So, I look at that and I go, hey, there might be huge benefits here that I don't know. I mean, so to me, it's like, let's see if we can make this happen.
Yeah.
But I need to hear all the data from the other side. And if I go and I look at the data and I go, these people are right, this is going to destroy us.
Right.
The cost far outweighs the benefits. Then I go, then maybe we should fight this.
Yeah.
Maybe we should stand against this. But I just laugh at people because we think we're coming at stuff like, well, I'm open-minded. No, you're not.
Right. You've been influenced.
Who was it? Oh man, there's a famous person that says something about, something about having such an open mind, everything falls out.
Yeah.
Like your mind's so open that everything just falls out. Like there's nothing in there, it's just empty.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's no such thing as a transgender child who was born in the wrong body.
Yeah.
Now you do have mentally ill parents who tell their child that they should have been born because they wanted a boy and they got a girl, or opposite. So they're going to tell that child. So that child, their worldview is shaped by the parents, or in other places, their teachers, and of who they are. And so they're telling them, they're believing it.
Well, and that's so that situation, any of these situations we're talking about, we have to get down to bare, raw, objective truths. Mm-hmm. And if the objective truth opposes our position, we can't then discard the objective truth. We have to change. We have to be the one that goes, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Just like Grok.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You proved it to me. I'm wrong. Okay. Yeah. And that's the thing. There's so much data out there that even our most complex artificial intelligence, when it goes out and gathers all that data, comes to wrong conclusions. Mm-hmm. Well, if the most advanced technology in the world can do that, I'm pretty sure my bumpkin rear end out here in New Mexico could be wrong about some things,
The older I get, the more I realize, the less I actually know.
Exactly, right? And there's a principle in this that I also like to point people to is you have to find where objective truth is, because the fact is everything you know could be contradicted by something you don't know.
Right.
And if you don't know that you don't know that, you're wholly convinced.
Yeah.
So where do we go to find objective truth? Of course, we start in Scripture in all things, and if things are contrary to what's said by the all-knowing being that gave us that word, then we know it's wrong, right? Other things, it's not so clear cut. Mm-hmm. Bible doesn't talk about data centers.
Yeah.
Right? But it does talk about ensuring the well-being of your people and everything else, as a magistrate, standing against evil. And so we take all those principles and we go, okay, is there evil motive in this? Is this going to do us harm? Is this going to harm our people? Okay, well, we got to find that out, and we got to dig, and we got to be diligent in that. So,
and work on your worldview. Mm-hmm. It's like my worldview I was searching and trying to find what cracked the windshield of my worldview that led me to getting out of that car in Ruidoso 19 years ago and getting killed.
Yeah.
Not the actual reason of getting out of the vehicle, but all of the choices and moments that had shaped my worldview to put me in that position.
That led up to it, yeah.
And stepping back and seeing the mistakes of that worldview. And the truth, the Bible, really helped me and is helping me work through that and repair that worldview.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we got to hit our news break, and then we'll be back right after this.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The U.S. military completed a round of strikes early Thursday in Iran. Those strikes took place shortly after President Trump declared the Memorandum of Understanding with Tehran is over. Utah prosecutors plan to play audio clips in open court of law enforcement officials interviewing the roommate of the man accused of killing conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson, charged with aggravated murder, and has not entered a plea. He turned himself in a day after the fatal shooting of Kirk at Utah Valley University in September. A hazardous record-breaking heat wave scorching the U.S., bringing triple-digit temperatures to millions. A powerful heat dome roasting the western U.S. This follows a deadly scorcher that recently blanketed the East Coast and the Midwestern U.S. This is SRN News.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Good morning, I'm John Terrett. Well, the minutes of the last Federal Reserve meeting were released yesterday, and they showed members of the FOMC committee split deeply on the future path of U.S. inflation and therefore what to do about it, cut or raise. Stocks were barely changed on that news, but they were affected by what President Trump said at NATO, that he doesn't think the Iran war will start again, but also saying the ceasefire is over and calling Iran's leaders scum, who want to make a deal but don't know how to. Well, the markets were all over the place, really, in the red for most of the day, but the Nasdaq popped into the green in the last couple of hours of trading, and you know what? It finished in the green by 1/5% when all was said and done. Dow and S&P in the red, oil up 3 to 5%, and there was even some buying at the SOX index in Philadelphia, which was up by about 2%. Nvidia, for example, was up a fairly healthy 4%. Meanwhile, the International Monetary Fund is warning the global economy will slow down this year to 3%, though it does see a rebound in 2027. And the agricultural equipment maker John Deere is offering its UAW workforce a new 2-year contract extension. John Deere down 1 to 2%. Later today, the data comes from the weekly jobless numbers and existing home sales. With business, I'm John Terrett.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
What if the future of finance wasn't built around averages, but around you? At Abacus Global Management, we're reshaping financial planning around the most personal data point, your lifespan. But it's more than just insight, it's control. As a technology-driven asset manager, we're empowering investors with an integrated system to take command of your time, your future, your financial destiny. This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com.
Now, time for another Otis Advisory.
You know, it's fun to tease artificial intelligence by making it talk about things that can't be explained, like Texas hockey, or all-electric NASCAR, or how it is that Hunter is still married. Or you could ask about the part where you put Susie on the bus to school and she comes home Buck Owens. This stuff falls right off the bone here. You could go on with this all day. There's hours of fun teasing AI with questions it doesn't like. The correct people built this artificial love child, so no wonder it doesn't want to hear anything your kind has to say. That's why you're gonna need to trick it. So we ask Lil Whiskers. Lil Whiskers.
Yeah?
How about you ask the artificial intelligence lady, if a girl becomes a boy and goes out and gets pregnant, does she then become her own grandpa?
Uncle Otis, I'm not doing anything until I get out of these wet shoes.
Okay then. Well, we did hear about some of those white wing guys that almost broke the internet while asking the AI to explain what it is about making America great That is so damn scary and can't be allowed. Hell, smoke started coming out of the socket watching the ghost bride of Bill Gates, except this one's been in a boating accident, get twisted around its own axle trying to make up an answer to that. Didn't go well. This your ace in the hole, Uncle Otis, and I'll see you at the Peace March.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No big changes to the hot and dry pattern. We'll be at about 102 for the afternoon high today. Lots of sunshine and a little bit breezy. Overnight, low 70s and a few clouds. We're between 100 and 105 and sunny on Friday, right around 100 and sunshine on Saturday. Sunday, we do have a very slim chance of a late day shower with mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Welcome back, Artesia. We're going to continue this conversation with Jeff. I think I figured out a new direction to take it. But so we're talking, we're talking about all this stuff, everything going from the AI centers and being on one side or another, and how we formulate our arguments and how we determine which side of something we're on and everything else, and trying to find objective truth. And interestingly enough, I really don't think enough people, I won't say all people, but I don't think enough people do this in choosing their political party, right? Well, I was brought up in a Republican household. I'm a Republican. I was brought up in a Democrat and no matter what either one of those parties does, I'm loyal. So it's like being loyal to the Artesia Bulldogs over Carlsbad type thing. It's like it just becomes this loyalty thing, and so then they will ingrain policy positions and moral positions of that party because they are that thing already. They don't stop and logically examine the other side and go, okay, well, do they have a point here? And go, well, maybe I'm not this thing, right? And I think lots of times our political landscape is designed to make sure that we perpetuate that, right? Political decisions, for the most part, from what I see these days, from a lot of people, is just based on emotion, right? It's emotion driven. Both sides putting out ads that get you riled up about this thing or riled up about that thing, and go, okay, are we examining any of this logically and rationally? Right. Or are we just getting all emotional about it? And, well, that this person, gets my patriotic blood pumping, so that must be the right person. Or this party over here, they just love everybody. That's kind of real bad generalizations of the two sides. But
well, like recently, the American flag that is now offensive to people.
Yeah. Mind-boggling, right?
It's like, yeah, it's.
Well, that was so did you see the poll? That's a good point. Did you see the poll that came out a couple weeks ago about, basically, it's, are you proud to be an American?
Yeah.
Right? So the recent poll come out, how proud are you to be an American? And like 92% of Republicans responded, I am very proud, like the highest level, like a 5 on a 1 to 5 scale or whatever. 92% responded, I'm very proud to be an American, right? Only 8% weren't. And only like 1% were not proud at all. Okay. I think you misunderstood the poll. But only 26% of Democrats.
Yeah.
And like 40 some odd percent is like, I'm not proud at all on the Democrat side.
Right.
And you're like, whoa, that's kind of wild. Well, I watched a clip the other day where they went back to the Obama administration. Exact same poll, exact same people. And 72% of Democrats were very proud to be American.
Yeah.
Right? You want to guess what the Republican amount was?
80.
92%.
92,
Exact, like it doesn't. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. They're like, I don't care who's president. I'm proud to be an American, right? You know?
It's
So
it's
like
not the
it didn't
president
change.
that makes America great.
Right. So that tells you there's not an objective standard by which people are basing this on.
Well, example just like that, Tom Homan. He's given the Medal of Honor by Obama.
Yeah, well, it was the Medal of Freedom.
Medal of Freedom. And for
deporting 900,000 illegals.
Celebrated and praised and ride-alongs with ICE.
Yeah.
No, now?
And now he's the devil.
Yeah. Now
by the same people that gave him the medal, he's now the devil for doing the exact same job. You're just going, it's almost mind-boggling how irrational things have become.
Yeah.
I watched a really fun clip. You'll get a kick out of this one. So two gentlemen, two black gentlemen sitting down and having a conversation, right? And one guy's a conservative, one guy's a liberal. And the conservative guy asks, he goes, well, what is it you hate about the Republican Party, or like whatever? And so the liberal guy says, well, the Republicans are the party of the rich, and the Democrats are the party for the poor people. And he goes, and so I'm going to side with the party that is for the poor people. And this is one of the best rationalizations I ever heard from the conservative guy. He goes, okay, let's think about this. If the Democrats are the party of the poor people, who are they relying on to vote for them? Well, the poor people. So do you think they're going to do anything to make the poor people not poor anymore? Like the things they're going to do is they need poor people.
Yeah.
So their policies will keep people poor so they can keep people voting for them. Now let's look at the party of the rich people. Who do they need to vote for? Rich people. And so what do they want to do? They want to make more rich people to vote for them. So now, whose side?
Yeah.
So if you look at one side, their policies, their economic policies, are designed to get stuff out of the way of people so that they can thrive, and improve and build businesses and make money and do all these things. They want to lift people up out of poverty because they want, they want a thriving community. The party of the poor, supposedly, which they're not, ladies and gentlemen. They really aren't. They're the party of power.
And some of them are the most wealthy.
Oh, yeah.
You look at the donors in the DNC. And
I love millionaire Bernie Sanders.
Oh, yeah.
He used to rail against millionaires, but now he is one, so he rails against billionaires, right?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. He and his wife stole how much money from a university? They almost bankrupted a university.
Exactly.
It's like, dude.
But you look at them like most of their policies are designed to keep people poor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's some welfare, but don't go get a job, because if you get a job and make too much money, I'll have to take that welfare away from you.
Yeah.
Right? We don't want you to go do that. We want you to be dependent upon us. So they're going to create all kinds of programs that make you dependent upon them, so you'll keep voting for them, because when it comes election time, they're going to go, well, if you vote for the other guy, he's going to cut off all this benefits. He's going to cut off these benefits. And the other guy's looking and going, look, man, we just want to get rid of regulations. We want to raise the tide so all the ships go up, man. I don't really see how people can't see the rational, logical progression of that.
I am really hoping that people are noticing and understanding what's going on in New York and Seattle. Seattle's even, New York is all, we knew that was going to happen. I thought there was going to be a revolution over 4th of July weekend. But Seattle is the perfect example because the mayor has destroyed the city.
Yeah.
They are literally pushed everyone away, and a lot of the jobs, they went 12 miles away across the bay where there is no taxes, where they don't tax everything.
Yeah.
And so you have, and the mayor of Seattle, well, what's going on? We need to raise taxes. Which moves more people.
If there's nobody there to pay the taxes, you can raise them all you want.
Well, and that's now they're realizing that with all those buildings that are empty, the real estate is worthless.
Yeah.
So the property tax
Taxes are gone.
is nothing because the downtown Seattle's worthless.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I kind of like rich people. I've never gotten a job from a poor person.
Right.
You know, Mr. Moneybags over there, he's paying me to be on the radio right now. It's great. So, but that's a joke.
Now think about Starbucks.
Yeah.
Leaving Seattle. It was created there.
Exactly.
And
it's like sometimes I just, it's like that guttural reaction I talked about. It just makes me want to slap some people. Yeah. Like, are you crazy? Why would you vote for them?
That's a perfect shot of right after the mayor was inaugurated, and she's standing. She's encouraging a strike for Starbucks on Starbucks that no one should be buying coffee, and it's like, hold on, you're the mayor of you're mayor of Seattle, where Starbucks was founded. You just told the city not to buy coffee from them.
The thing that puts you in the map.
And now you're wondering why they moved 200,000 jobs to Kentucky.
Oh, yeah. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's hard. It is. We're out there grinding it out day after day, and we've got work to do and finding all the research and digging and understanding. But I'm going to say that at least on this, if you've got something you're extremely passionate upon, like this one topic, I'm just super passionate about that, make sure you're understanding both sides of the argument. If for nothing else, to reinforce your position.
Yeah.
Lots of times you go and you actually go study the other side's argument, and you find out it's exactly what you thought it was. Ignorance. It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't add up. It's not rational. It's not logical. It benefits no one, but then it just gives you more ammunition, I guess. It gives you a better argument. You can then present and support your position better in the face of that.
It's like if we're in war and we're fighting, they're across the street in that building.
Yeah,
it'd be a lot better for us if we knew everything about them.
Everything about them. How many's in there?
Yeah. You have to know your opponent. You have to know the other side to really articulate your position. Yeah. And you can find fallacies in your own thought process.
You find the weaknesses in your position, and by understanding your enemy's
to acknowledge
position,
it
is
to accept that you were wrong.
Yeah, because if you don't recognize the own weaknesses in your own position, man, you open yourself up. And you get out there in a debate, and you don't understand the other side's position. They're going to come around and throw a left hook on you didn't see coming, and then you're just left there stumbling, going, I have no idea how to answer that. That's happened to me a number of times.
And if they know everything,
I never thought about that.
About your point, and then they'll be prepared to counter.
Yeah, and you might still be right, but if you can't defend it, you look like an idiot.
Yeah,
and most debates, if you actually watch. When people are debating, like what Charlie Kirk does on campus, and now Nick Freitas and Officer Tatum are now going out fulfilling Charlie's shoes and all of that, is if you don't have a clue what you're doing out there, you're in trouble, because you're never actually trying to convince the person you're debating against.
Right.
Who you're speaking to is the quiet kid over in the corner that's just listening.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting in the middle of it at all because he doesn't know yet. And he listens to two people go back and forth. If you're stumbling all over and you're not able to support your position, even though you might be right.
Yeah.
That kid over there's like, oh, no, that other guy made more sense. And then, you've lost a little bit of ground. Yep. All right, Artesia, thanks for listening to us this hour. Hey, it was a lot of fun. I appreciate it. I like getting the chance to sometimes just take an hour and and go on about things. So we'll be back the next hour and with a few guests, and we'll see what else is going on in Artesia.
Do you have missing teeth or would like them replaced? If you think dental implants are not affordable, think again. At Maupin & Brown Dentistry, their goal has always been to provide the highest quality dentistry in a state-of-the-art office at a reasonable price. They routinely treat patients that have traveled out of town for a consultation but cannot afford the treatment quoted. Now, if this sounds like your story, come in today. As one of New Mexico's largest users of the world-class Nobel brand implants, they're able to purchase in volume and pass the savings on to you.
So, if you're missing a tooth or have loose dentures, call today for a free evaluation, which includes a free 3D x-ray. You'll be given treatment options with an honest evaluation with no hard sell or arm twisting. But don't take our word for it. Just ask one of the thousands of patients they've treated. Maupin & Brown Dentistry, your choice for experienced, affordable, state-of-the-art dentistry. Call 627-0141 or visit maupinbrown.com.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency.
Incredible in Artesia is open for business, ready to give you the hometown quality and customer service you know and love. Georgia and her team specialize in in-house design for quality custom business cards at a competitive price. From scanning to desktop publishing, if you need it, they can do it. On Main Street across from the Derrick Floor statue in downtown Artesia. For all your printing needs, think Incredible.
Hungry for flavor? Since 1965, La Fonda in Artesia has been serving up some of the most inventive New Mexican dishes around. From rich, slow-cooked red and green chili to sizzling carne avocada, every bite is tradition with a twist.
That chicken enchilada plate, so spicy, so comforting, just what I needed.
Come visit us at 210 West Main in Artesia or call 575-746-9377. We're open Monday through Friday from 11 till 2 and 4:30 to 8. Closed on weekends. Treat yourself to something local. La Fonda, where flavor feels like home.
Tired of waiting at the dealership? Artesia Ford Sales brings expert Ford mobile service right to your home or office in Artesia. Our certified technicians perform oil changes, tire rotations, brake inspections, battery service, fluid checks, and more, while you stay productive. Enjoy complimentary service at your convenience. No hidden fees for the visit. Same Ford quality and warranty, plus time saved for what matters most. For 60 years, our family has taken care of yours. Call Artesia Ford Sales today and schedule your mobile service.
Artesia Clean and Beautiful is pleased to announce that the traveling dumpsters are back. June 29th through July 12th, they will be sitting at the corner of 10th and Missouri, just north of St. Anthony's Catholic Church. Now's the time to clean up that garage, storage, or yard. Trash your trash with Artesia Clean and Beautiful. No hazardous waste or tires. Call 575-513-0143 for more information. This message brought to you by H.F. Sinclair Navajo Refining.
Before you head back to class, head for Roswell Honda for the Back to School Bash. Saturday, July 18th from 10 to 1 at Roswell Honda. With free hot dogs and Pepsi products, snow cones, face painting, and great local booths and sponsors, including Dunes Brews, Tacos Pita, Sweetly Loved, Letty's Creations, and more. And register now for your chance to win a back to school bundle. Either a laptop, desk, and chair, or a back to school basket loaded with supplies. And ask how to sign up for free school supplies. The Back to School Bash. Saturday, July 18th from 10 to 1 at Roswell Honda. 2177 West 2nd.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm John Scott. U.S. launching new airstrikes against Iran, and Iran responded by targeting Gulf countries. The strikes came hours after President Trump said recent Iranian attacks on ships in the Strait of Hormuz signaled the end of the ceasefire. A former Olympic canoe racer pleading not guilty to deliberately damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. David Hearn from Bethesda, Maryland, faces a felony count of property destruction. Prosecutors working to show they have enough evidence to try Tyler Robinson in the murder of Charlie Kirk.
Charlie Kirk's widow and parents were back in court in Utah on Wednesday as investigators testified in the week-long preliminary hearing for the man accused of killing him. I was in the courtroom as an agent with the Utah State Bureau of Investigation described the night that defendant Tyler Robinson showed up with his parents at the Washington County Sheriff's Office to turn himself in. He has not entered a plea. Next in the case, we expect to hear parts of an interview with Robinson's roommate and romantic partner, Lance Twiggs. Prosecutors say they also plan to introduce as evidence an alleged confession note that Robinson left for Twig. Outside the courthouse in Provo, Utah, I'm Hannah Schoenbaum.
The United States heat wave posing serious risk, especially for vulnerable populations, such as the elderly, children, and outdoor workers. The heat dome affecting some specialty farmers who produce crops like fruits and vegetables.
Annie Woods, a vegetable and herb farmer in Kentucky who harvests by hand, has moved her work to the early morning and late evening to avoid the hottest parts of the day. The extreme heat has also shortened the harvest window for some farmers of certain fruits like raspberries. Specialty crop farmers often plant a wide diversity of crops to offset potential losses from extreme weather. Keith Peters reporting.
More on these stories from townhall.com.
Are you tired of feeling lousy? Maybe you had a scare at your last checkup or just walking hurts? When enough is enough, call PhD Weight Loss. When I had enough 4 years and 53 pounds ago, I knew I couldn't do it alone. I'm Mike Gallagher for PhD Weight Loss. Best phone call I ever made. They were right with me. They still are today. Right now, mention Mike. You'll get 2 free weeks added to the program, and they'll pay for the cost of your food. $1,500 value. Call 864-644-1900, 864-644-1900, or visit myphdweightloss.com.
Maybe this is you too. There is enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It's amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled, and it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives, and MediShare is proven. And yeah, you could save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Here's the number. They're easy to talk to. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE.
The International Monetary Fund has modestly downgraded its outlook for the world economy this year, citing the energy shock caused by the Iran war.
Fallout from the conflict is being tempered somewhat by booming investment in AI and other tech. The IMF now expects the global economy to expand by a sluggish 3% this year, down from 3.5% last year and from the 3.1% forecast issued back in April. The war pushed up energy prices, squeezing business and consumers. The IMF now expects oil prices to be up nearly 32% this year. Rich Thomason reporting.
New suspected Ebola cases reported in previously unaffected parts of Congo. The death toll in this latest outbreak has reached 600 now. The outbreak, declared on May 15, is caused by the Bundibugyo virus, which has no approved vaccine or treatment. News at townhall.com. Here's a look at action on the court at Wimbledon.
In Wimbledon, Taylor Fritz in the quarterfinals lost to Alexander Zverev, 6-4, 6-4, 6-2. Number 6 seed Fritz says things just didn't go his way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say. I feel like three games into the match, I mean, he was already up a break, but 3 games into the match, I just started feeling my knee, and I think I could have, still probably think I could have played a lot better through the issue.
I'm Donna Warder, AP Sports.
The NCAA Division I cabinet approved changes to the college football calendar. Starting in fall 2027, teams can schedule up to 12 regular season games over 14 weeks, ending after Thanksgiving. Additionally, the FBS and FCS Oversight Committee proposed shortening the January transfer portal window from 15 to 10 days. More on these stories at townhall.com.
As KSVP celebrates 80 years of broadcasting in 2026, one of our longest-running features is the KSVIP. We love recognizing our local residents and listeners for great accomplishments in their lives. If it's a birthday, anniversary, promotion, retirement, a new family member, you name it, they're worthy of being a KSVIP. To nominate a special person who will receive recognition on the radio and a flower from Nell's Floral, call 575-746-2751.
Welcome back, Artesia. It is Thursday, July 9th, the 9 o'clock hour. Unfortunately, the Ocotillo is not going to make it in for their segment today, which makes absolute sense. They are over there preparing with the Missoula Theater. They've got a ton of stuff going on. I went in the other day. There's children everywhere. They filled that whole class up. There were 60, I think there were slots for 60 kids, and they got all 60 kids. So as you can guess, that place is pretty wild right now. So I understand why they can't make it in today. So you know what? We've got about 10, 13 minutes before I need to go talk to Aaron. And so we'll just continue our conversation. If Jeff wants to come back in, I was going to continue the conversation. I was looking during the break, and I guess I need to go on this post because there's a number of members of the city that are talking back and forth right now on the data center thing. And I thought, well, let's do some objective fact finding here. Now I need to figure it out, but so, everybody's kind of worried about the water, and we'll ask Grok here in a second, what's the average water usage of a data center and stuff, right? But the thing is, if one of these centers is 200 acres, right? Mm-hmm. And if they buy the water rights for every single one of those acres, that's 977,000 gallons per acre annually. So did a little math. That's 195 million gallons of water a year that they would have access to. So I'm not sure, I don't know if you ask a generalized question, how much water does a data center use? It's going to depend on the size of the data center and all that.
And the climate.
How hot it is.
Which, one of the questions I have about this is, how will this affect our quote unquote agreement with Texas and the water that we owe them?
Well, that won't change because that was settled in the Supreme Court.
Right.
We still owe Texas, I don't remember, it was a bunch.
Yeah. So we owe them that. And how is this going to then reduce our water supply, knowing that we don't own our water? It's like the, Bonita Lake?
Yeah.
That is Alamogordo's water.
Yeah.
That fake lake.
Well, and so then I did my research, and and the numbers are just so varying. Like a medium-sized enterprise data center roughly uses 100 to 110 million gallons per year for cooling. Okay, not a horrible thing. Large hyperscale data centers, those run by Google, Meta, Amazon, they're often at 100 plus megawatts, typically 1 to 5 million gallons per day, or roughly 365 million to 1.8 billion gallons annually. Peak usage, hot days, can be much higher. Many use less most of the year. Individual examples include Google's largest facilities withdrawing and consuming millions of gallons daily. There's something interesting about that, though. Think about the concept of water. It doesn't ever really go away. It only ever changes form.
Yeah.
So if they take it in and it's used to cool something, the water absorbs the heat, and if it gets too hot, it becomes steam. So then they release the steam. Where does the steam go? Into the atmosphere. And then it becomes clouds. And then it comes back under the ground, it rains, and it goes back into the ground. So the water cycle is this interesting thing. It seems like we never have enough.
Yeah.
But we have exactly what there is, and it doesn't ever really go away. And that's what kind of mind-boggling, the circular idea of it. So, I once again, I'm befuddled. I don't know where to stand on this because I go, well, it seems to me that if they're using it to cool, it's like the antifreeze in your truck. So you put it in there. It's not like you fill it every day.
Right.
It's there until it leaks. And unless it leaks out, it's there. And you go change it, because it gets dirty. But it's still there. It didn't like it ceased to exist.
You just have to cool it.
Yeah, you got to cool the water.
You got to turn it back into a liquid.
Yeah, which they could do with geothermal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So the water goes through, it gets hot, goes back into it goes down through geothermal tubes in the ground. It's cooled off in the ground. They pull it right back up, and it goes through. So I think a lot of our fear is maybe unfounded. I don't know. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm saying, but man, this is something I definitely want to dig into because it's coming to the forefront.
Oh yeah.
I think Chaves County had a county council or whatever, county meeting or whatever, and they approved some exploratory, like they approved it in part, like it's not approved and it's getting built next month, you know, type thing. But they're moving forward. Chaves County is moving forward with it because it's on Chaves County property. So,
and water rights is something that T. Boone Pickens was talking about when he spoke here for the Chase Foundation. That was his big.
That's an awesome name, man.
T. Boone
Pickens.
He said that water. He was buying up water rights as much as he could because he's like, that's more valuable, or that is more valuable than oil.
Well, real property is always got is a far better investment. I hate Facebook. I went and looked at something else, and now the post was gone.
Yeah.
After the show, I'm going to post back to that group. Go, thank you guys for the information, for the conversation on the radio today. I won't mention anybody's names because I know a lot of them, and I don't want to put them on the spot. But and so I'm looking at the situation, and I'm going, okay, can't we approach this? It's not like it's happening tomorrow.
Yeah.
I will say the wrong thought to take, and it is tempting to take, is it really doesn't matter what I think. The government's going to do what the government's going to do. But no, getting educated about it, getting involved, and this is one of the things you have to become, in order to become politically activated, you've got to be proactive. And so you got to be watching these meetings and everything else. And, if this is happening in Chavez and we here in Eddy oppose it, then we need to be pushing our representatives, the mayor and county commissioners. You guys got to be going up and talking to Chavez County because we're next door neighbors. You guys represent us. They're not going to let us just walk into their meetings and rail against it.
Yeah.
But it is going to affect us, So
and the water part that just is interesting of the since it is on the county line pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to when John LeMay was speaking about his latest book at the library and Chisholm, and a lot of it was talking about the apple orchards and Hagerman, Dexter, what happened and how the industry changed because of water, because of who owned and moved the water.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's helped shape this area.
Right. So I'm, man, this is going to be a fun one to track. It seems like it's coming to a head because people are actually, like, the local citizens are now having online conversations about it. So apparently it's coming up. I know in Texas, there's been a number of little towns that have stood up and defeated it. Said, nope, we don't want it. We don't want it. We don't want it.
Yeah.
I do find it a bit on the illogical side for these companies to want to put it in the hottest part of the country.
Yeah.
Maybe up north makes more sense.
I mean, I know we have a lot of open range.
We do. Yeah, but so does North Dakota, Montana, and Nebraska, and it's cooler up there. Just saying, guys. But, we don't know what the tax numbers on this are, right? So there was another article I was reading just a while ago. The Republicans have put forward a proposal, I guess is the word, to eliminate the New Mexico income tax. Okay? I guess they asked MLG. I won't say any of the derogatory. I won't be Trumpian right now and give her a silly name. They asked MLG, I guess, for a special session on it, and she responded back in a press release that while she doesn't think it's a horrible idea and it needs to be addressed, she doesn't think it rates a special session, and that they just need to put it forward in a bill in January under the new governor. So she's like, I'm not dealing with that one.
Yeah.
And so it'll go on. So I guess, it becomes, who knows? We'll have to see. If we get a Republican governor, praise God. We need some balance up there for sure. Because right now we have no balance. It's one party rule here in New Mexico. And so I'm going, if they put that bill forward and they eliminate the income tax, but we bring in more industry such as data centers, those data centers are going to have to pay insurance. They're going to have to pay sales, all the taxes here in the state. So that brings more income. Even if they don't create a lot of jobs, they're bringing a lot of income that's going to move through this state. So they make money as a data center. And they've got to pay taxes on the money they're making.
Right.
And so that goes into the state coffers. Right. And so maybe it could, bringing in big industry that produces large sums of tax dollars like the oil industry does here. If we could get other industries in this area that do that, it lessens the tax burden on the people who live here. Even if it doesn't create a bunch of jobs and stuff. Sometimes we're kind of small-minded on that. Like, there's like 10 people are going to work there. Okay, maybe. It is going to bring in some massive construction.
Yeah.
Well,
and that kind of, it's with like the film credit. I know I got into a discussion with a politician about this. And my only thought back to him was, yes, the production company got a film credit or tax credit. But all of that money that I made, I paid taxes on.
Yeah.
I shot that movie in Las Cruces. I spent the money in Las Cruces, Roswell, and Artesia. So
GRT is being paid.
They didn't lose money. The state did not lose money. On that.
Money is a lot like water. It's this circular thing, and to think there's a finite amount of it, and it'll just disappear. Like none of us are making money and just hoarding it in our mattresses. Right. There might be a Scrooge McDuck out there that's got
exactly what I was thinking.
Swimming through his gold, but I don't think so. It's being spent. It's being spread around the state.
Well, and it's like people talking about Elon being a trillionaire and that the Dems that want him the money.
Yeah,
and it's like Elon doesn't have. There's not a room with $1 trillion in it.
No.
It's all on paper. And if you took that $1 trillion, all of his companies would disappear.
Yeah, exactly. You got to think this through, folks. So. All right, Artesia, thanks for listening to us. We're going to go ahead and go to commercial break and some weather. And when we come back, we'll talk to Aaron. Maybe Aaron can tell us if we're wrong here.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No big changes to the hot and dry pattern. We'll be at about 102 for the afternoon high today. Lots of sunshine and a little bit breezy. Overnight, low 70s and a few clouds. We're between 100 and 105 and sunny on Friday. Right around 100 and sunshine on Saturday. Sunday, we do have a very slim chance of a late day shower with mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Sometimes that dog barking is an Artesia Bulldog preparing for victory. Most of the time, however, it's probably just the family pet asking for attention. Artesia Animal Clinic provides a full range of services for just about any size pet or animal. Our new clinic has been expanded to provide better quality of care, including an in-house laboratory, radiology, surgery, herd health, and more. So the next time your pet looks like they could use some extra care, come by Artesia Animal Clinic in our newly remodeled and expanded facility at 110 West Mahone Drive.
Check out the savings this week at Fens Country Market in Artesia. Select bags of Craven-flavored French fries or tater coins are 2 for $5. And select gallons of Craven-flavored rainbow sherbet or ice cream are $5.98 each. In produce, juicy red or black plums are $1.99 a pound. And select heats of New Mexico green chili are just 99 cents a pound. In the meat department, boneless skinless chicken thighs are $2.19 a pound, and whole boneless pork loins are $1.99 a pound. These are just some of the savings this week at Fens Country Market in Artesia.
The Artesia Historical Museum and Arts Center now has their very own website. Visit artesiamuseum.org to stay up to date on events and exhibits. Look through historical photos of Artesia, submit research requests, and more. For information, please call 575-748-7345. Stop by the Artesia Historical Museum and Arts Center at 505 West Richardson Avenue or online at artesiamuseum.org. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 to 4. This ad paid for by Artesia Lodgers Tax. When you or a loved one need medical transport, TransAero answers the call. TransAero Medevac operates 3 rotorcraft bases and 1 fixed-wing base in southeastern New Mexico, allowing them to respond quickly to emergencies across diverse terrains. Their fleet extends coverage deep into New Mexico and West Texas, including Artesia, Carlsbad, Roswell, Ruidoso, Midland, Lubbock, and the surrounding areas, ready to answer the call when every second counts. TransAero Medevac, proudly serving southeastern New Mexico and West Texas. Flown for free, thanks to the partnership from the City of Artesia and TransAero Medevac. Life support by air. Hats off to 90 years, the 90th annual Lee County Fair and PRCA Rodeo, July 31st through August 8th. Experience the Arts and Crafts Showcase, carnival rides, commercial vendors, livestock shows, Pioneer Iron Chef Contest, the Fiddlers Contest, Mutton Bustin', Junior Livestock Sale, special rodeo, and exhibits in the Yucca Building. Plus, enjoy some of the best fair food in New Mexico. And don't miss PRCA Extreme Bulls on Tuesday, August 4th. Get more info at LeeCountyFair.net. The 90th annual Lee County Fair and PRCA Rodeo, July 31st through August 8th at the Fairgrounds in Lovington. Hats off to 90 years, the 90th annual Lee County Fair and PRCA Rodeo, July 31st through August 8th. Experience the Arts and Crafts Showcase, carnival rides, commercial vendors, livestock shows, Pioneer Iron Chef Contest, the Fiddlers Contest, Mutton Bustin', Junior Livestock Sale, special rodeo, and exhibits in the Yucca Building. Plus, enjoy some of the best fair food in New Mexico. And don't miss PRCA Extreme Bulls on Tuesday, August 4th. Get more info at LeeCountyFair.net. The 90th annual Lee County Fair and PRCA Rodeo, July 31st through August 8th at the Fairgrounds in Lovington.
At First Church Artesia, we proclaim Christ as King over all. Located at 4th and Grand, we're a family exalting His reign in every corner of life, work, home, and community. Join us Sundays at 10:45 a.m. for reverent, family-integrated worship and Bible preaching that transforms. From Artesia streets to your soul, it's all of Christ for all of life. Visit artesiareform.com or find us on Facebook. First Church Artesia, His kingdom rules. All right, welcome back, Artesia. Welcoming our first guest of the day.
Wow.
Rarely do you hear that.
Yeah.
So, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good, good. Hey, do you want to weigh in on data center debate?
Yeah. I got two things on that because I have been listening.
Yeah.
One, for the water piece, I hope that we're considering using the produced water that's coming from like Exxon and I believe
the oil fields, yeah.
Yeah. That water should be usable for cooling a data center, and it's you can't put it into the regular water anyway. So
yeah. So it's all setting out there, so let's use it.
Yeah. And the other thing, I don't know how true it is, but it sure seems like it when I look at my Facebook that there's been comments on people that do data centers that a lot of the attacks against data centers are actually originating from China, and it's trying to slow down the data center creation here.
What?
So they,
You think China is using social media to influence people's minds? What they think about? I can't believe that would happen. Ah, gosh, you'd think they own TikTok or something.
You would think so.
All right, man, you got a joke for us?
Sure. Today you get the cowboy jokes.
All right. Yeah, because I picked the preacher joke the other day, so I get the cowboy joke today.
So a cowboy was hitching his horse in front of the saloon when a man stormed out with a pistol. The cowboy walks calmly into the bar, past a barfly with a half-empty drink. He orders a beer and asks the barfly, "Who is that guy who just stormed out looking for trouble?" The barfly responded, "Oh, him? That's Jake the Killer. He's the meanest gun in the West with a bounty of $100 on his head. I'm the lawman sent to deliver the bounty to whomever shoots him down." The cowboy said, "$100? Hold my beer." Runs out the door, he shoots Jake dead and comes back into the bar to collect his pay. Barfly's waiting for him and drinking the cowboy's beer. Cowboy said, "I shot him down. Give me the $100 and my beer." Barfly responded, "Sir, I don't know who you are or what you're talking about, but this is my beer. If you have a problem with that, we can take it outside after I finish my drink." The cowboy storms out of the bar with his pistol in his hands and a mean look in his eye. Just then, another cowboy walks into the saloon, orders a beer, and asks the barfly who that dangerous-looking man is that ran outside. Barfly sets down his half-empty mug of beer and says, "Oh, him? That's Jake the Killer."
Oh, that's pretty good. All right, man. Let's see how those AI companies are doing in the stock market, whether they're going to be able to afford any data centers or not.
All right. This is Aaron Irving with LPL Financial, member of FINRA and the SIPC, bringing you your mid-morning stock market report for Thursday, July the 9th. Stocks are higher this morning, supported by a jump in semiconductor stocks and a fall in oil prices as equity markets try to recover despite renewed U.S.-Iranian tensions. The NASDAQ composite rose 0.3% along with the S&P 500, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average was 0.2% higher. The VanEck Semiconductor ETF SMH climbed 3%, led by a 7% gain in Micron Technology, with SanDisk also popping 7%. European stocks also bounced back today as investors monitor renewed tensions in the Middle East, with the Pan-European Stock 600 index up 0.7%, and regional bourses and sectors painting a mixed picture. In Asia, Japan's Nikkei 225 closed 1.4% higher, while South Korea's Kospi rose 0.6% higher in choppy trade. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index was down 0.5% in its last hour of trading today, while mainland China's CSI 300 closed 2.5% higher. For the second day in a row, the U.S. launched fresh strikes on Iran, according to the U.S. Central Command. The latest round of strikes followed Tehran's attacks on commercial shipping in and around the Strait of Hormuz, which has slowed shipping traffic through the critical waterway. However, crude futures are lower today after President Trump said Iran called to make a deal. This comes after Trump said Wednesday that he may no longer be interested in dealing with Iran. Prior to that, he said the ceasefire between the U.S. and Tehran was over after another wave of attacks in the Middle East. The Dow tumbled yesterday amid the renewed tensions between Iran and the U.S., with the S&P 500 also falling slightly, but semiconductor stocks bounced, pushing the NASDAQ composite higher. Currently, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 141 points to 52,489. The S&P 500 is up 41 points to 7,524. And the NASDAQ composite is 200 points higher at 26,071. West Texas Intermediate crude is down $1.25 a barrel at $72.27. Stocks of local interest. HF Sinclair is down 84 cents a share at $77.78. Walmart is 66 cents lower at $112.44 a share. Xcel Energy is down 41 cents a share at $79.22. And Apple is $1.24 higher at $314.71 a share. This is Aaron Irving with Oakley and Irving Wealth Management, serving business owners and energy industry professionals in the Pecos Valley and beyond. You can find us at oiwealth.com or at our offices in Artesia and Carlsbad. You can call us at 575-887-7075. All indices are unmanaged and may not be invested into directly. Securities are offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA, the SIPC.
All right. So oil's kind of holding steady there, a little bit of a dip, but I kind of expected a blow up on it real quick, but maybe it'll be a few days before prices start going back up with all the stuff over there. But
yeah, it was up a bit yesterday, but yeah, it's calmed down a little bit. I think America's really helped that with our ability to produce and export oil.
Yeah. I kind of laugh at what's going on over there. Is one, if you can make sense of it, good for you, because I'm struggling to understand. But I also got to looking at it's kind of like the concept of the beatings will continue until morale improves. It's like that's the approach we're going to take now. It's like, hey, we're here waiting for you, but we're going to keep blowing your stuff up until you cooperate.
Yeah. Dealing with Iran is like expecting a Somali-run daycare center to actually teach kids.
Yeah, the Leering Center. But honestly, I think it's the only approach. It did look hopeful there for a few days that they're like, oh yeah, they're coming to the table, they're willing to cooperate. But when you're dealing with ideologues, there is no rationale to what they're doing. And if you're looking for a rational, logical explanation for why it's happening the way it's happening, you're looking in the wrong place. This is a fully emotional war for them. They believe wholly in what they're doing, and they're not going to back off of that. And I think they've got power struggles within their own country at this point.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much of the people dealing, I think probably some of them are sincere, but they don't have actual control over the people releasing the missiles.
Yeah, I think it's becoming a military state. The Ayatollah is and his leverage with the IRGC. They're controlling what's going on. Because they've got all the weapons, they've got all that. So they just got pissed off and said, "Hey, let's blow up some tankers."
Yeah, we're not feeling the love here, so we're gonna make it.
Yeah, it's like the little kid stealing one more cookie. After you told them to quit eating all the cookies in the cookie jar. See if I get one more and see if I get away with it.
Right.
It's absolutely insane on that. But how far off are we price-wise oil from before to now? But maybe about $12. Like it was around 60 or so before all this kicked off.
Yeah, I think we were in the high 60s. Over 5 days we're up about 5% is all.
Yeah.
Over the 1 month we're down 18%.
I was kind of thinking like before we took any action in yeah.
Year to date, so like we're looking from January, we're up 25%.
Okay. Okay, that's not that huge of a leap. So, and I've noticed gas is kind of stabilizing. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see where that goes. But around here, gas goes up. That just means the oil companies are making more money. They're spending more money here. Okay. And I know for the rest of the country, it's not quite like that. But for us, it kind of sets in that position. So, all right.
It's interesting. On my trip, I was looking at gas stations and things, and of course, they sell by the liter, which is less than a gallon, and it was like $9.99 a liter over there.
Oh yeah, they're blown away when they come here and they see how cheap, as they say, petrol is.
That's why we have the SUVs and the pickups, and they got the little bitty cars.
We have a lot more ground to cover than they do.
Yes, that's true.
We travel nationwide. They stick in their little countries.
We care a little more about comfort as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Comfortable car.
Yeah, I found an all-inclusive trip to Britain the other day. and it's a walking trip. Like you fly in, they take you to your first like bed and breakfast, and you stay at the bed and breakfast. In the morning, you get up, you eat breakfast, you leave your luggage sitting in the lobby, and they take your luggage to the next bed and breakfast, and you walk to the next one. It's like 7 days of just walking across England from bed and breakfast to bed and breakfast, and it's like guided on a little, an app that tells you about all the things you're seeing as long as you go. I was like,
that's one way to do it.
Save a few bucks there. I'll walk across England. So yeah, try that in Texas.
All right, yeah, nothing to make it far.
Better take some tents with you and some good hiking boots. So,
absolutely.
All right, man. Well, all right, buddy. Well, you have a great weekend, man, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right, you do the same.
All right, brother. God bless.
God bless you too.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A former Olympic canoe racer has pleaded not guilty to deliberately damaging the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. David Hearn, who competed in 3 Summer Olympics, entered the plea in D.C. Superior Court. The 67-year-old Hearn from Bethesda, Maryland, faces a felony count of property destruction. President Trump declared the interim memorandum of understanding with Iran is over, and the U.S. carried out fresh strikes on Iranian targets. The U.S. said the strikes were intended to further degrade Iran's ability to threaten freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. A massive heat dome building over the western U.S. this week before expanding toward the north central this weekend. As the dome ages and shifts, the door will open for thunderstorms to erupt over the deserts. This is SRN News.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Mamdani now is pretty much the leader of the Democratic Party. One of the people that he endorsed, that one, has called for the government to seize the means of production, to seize private property. She has called for the police to be completely abolished. She wants to abolish America's prisons completely. She wants no borders with America. She doesn't want anybody deported, and it gets worse. Not even criminal illegal aliens convicted of rape and murder. I mean, should we move these people convicted of rape and murder that she doesn't want deported into her neighborhood or next door to her? Or maybe she wants to adopt them, and maybe she wants to put them up in rent-free?
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Listen, America is now celebrating its 250th anniversary, that milestone, time to reflect on our enduring relationship. U.S., Israel, greatest ally, standing for liberty and freedom. President Kennedy once said, Israel was not created in order to disappear. Israel will endure, it will flourish. And those words absolutely captured the spirit of a young democracy determined to survive. While we're far apart, our values are the same, Judeo-Christian values. And as we celebrate our 250th year of independence, as Israel fights for its survival, they've had the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews on the ground. They have been providing all the humanitarian assistance, and they're providing food and water and shelter. Whatever you can do to help them, they set up a website. It is very simple. It's flagpinifcj.org. Flagpinifcj.org. Today, any help you can give them is greatly appreciated. Flagpinifcj.org.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. No big changes to the hot and dry pattern. We'll be at about 102 for the afternoon high today. Lots of sunshine and a little bit breezy. Overnight, low 70s and a few clouds. We're between 100 and 105 and sunny on Friday, right around 100 and sunshine on Saturday. Sunday, we do have a very slim chance of a late day shower with mid-90s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
right, welcome back, Artesia. Hey, here in just a few minutes, we're going to be joined by some young amateur motocross racers, and they're going to tell us all about their participation at the race and how it came out. If I remember correctly, in the text that I got, as you know, they brought back three wins, so that's going to be pretty cool to hear about them. We talked to them here a couple weeks ago, and they told us all about it. And I see them pulling up on their bikes, and we got mini bikes and everything else pulling up out front. So that's pretty cool. That's quite the entrance into the show here as they pull up. So we're going to go ahead and go to another commercial break. We'll knock out the last commercial break, and they'll be in right after this.
Hey Roswell, celebrate America's 250th birthday with massive savings and more for your trade during the Red, White, and Blue Book sales event at Roswell Ford. Actually, we really don't need a Blue Book. We need your trade, and we need it right now. We'll do whatever it takes to terminate your current loan or lease, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Plus, this is the final week to get employee pricing for all. You heard right. This is your last chance to pay what we pay on our entire lineup of new Fords. So there's never been a better time to trade and upgrade to a new Ford and get massive savings. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders that will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. Hurry in for massive savings, more for your trade, and employee pricing for all. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Employee pricing excludes Raptor Series 2026 Super Duties Lariat Package and up, 2025 and 2026 Transit Wagon, standard exclusions, and final pay units.
The Bible's full of wonderful stories, and we learn many of them while we're young in VBS or Sunday school. There are so many. Noah and the Ark, Joshua and the Battle of Jericho, David and Goliath. Who can forget Joseph and his coat of many colors? There's Daniel in the lion's den and his friends Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah as they're thrown into the fiery furnace. We know them better as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. But there's so many great stories of faith, great lessons for old and young alike. Do you have a favorite? I bet you do. How about Jonah? Yeah, Jonah and the big fish. You know, the story of Jonah is one of the most interesting in the Bible. His story includes a lot more than just an exciting 3-day vacation in the belly of a fish. A lot more. Come join us at Hermosa Church of Christ this Sunday at 10 o'clock. We'll look at Jonah and see what we can learn from the pouting prophet.
When your crew's waiting on rock or sand, excuses don't move dirt. You need material delivered on time, period. J&H Services Incorporated supplies construction and oil field companies across southeastern New Mexico, West Texas, and the Permian Basin with quality aggregate materials and dependable delivery. Concrete sand, masonry sand, crusher fines, multiple rock sizes ready for your next job. No headaches, no runaround. Just reliable service from a company built to work as hard as you do. Call 575-393-6204 or visit jhservicesinc.com.
Pecos Valley Rides Amusements Carnival is back at the Eddy County Fair. Over 30 rides like the Orbiter, the Himalaya, the Vertigo 90-foot tower, and Zero Gravity. For the kids, Jumbo the Flying Elephants, the Carousel, the wet boats in real water, live pony rides, and more. Enjoy the cotton candy, funnel cakes, lemonade, and handmade pizza. Get a wristband and ride all you want all day for just $40. Ad paid for by Eddy County and Artesia Lodgers Tax.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-358-9218. 800-358-9218. 800-358-9218.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
All right, Artesia, welcome back for our last segment of the day. And we've got some young people in here. Milo, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce these young men and tell us all about what they've done and what's going on.
Okay, so we got Jacob over here. Jacob's 4. He's been racing for, I think, a year now.
Awesome.
And then his big brother, Noah.
Okay.
Noah's 5. And he's been racing about the same time. And then we've got my son, Maverick. And Maverick's been racing for 2 years. And so they just finished up with the New Mexico State Championship in Moriarty, New Mexico.
Okay. So how did we do at the competition, guys?
Good.
Good. Did you win?
Yeah.
Awesome. All 3 of you guys brought home state championships?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. When I was told there was a bunch of motocross riders coming in, I expected a bunch of stinky teenagers. And instead, I got you guys. So awesome, man. Maverick, why don't you tell me, how much do you like riding?
A lot.
A lot? Yeah, you enjoy riding out there? You've been riding for 2 whole years? You're only 5 years old, is that what you said? So you've been riding since you were 3 years old. You guys have been riding motorcycles. That's pretty awesome. So now, obviously, if they all 3 won, I'm guessing they're in different classes. Is it an age category thing, Milo?
So, no, they have, thankfully, they've got multiple different classes, especially for the little guys.
Gotcha. Okay.
He raced in the Stasic class, which is like a cross between a motorcycle and an electric bicycle.
Okay.
It doesn't have pedals, but for the little guys, they start off with a Stasic.
Okay.
Then they graduate up to actual dirt bikes.
Mhm.
And so Noah won his class in the 4 to 6 year old P-Dub shaft drive.
Okay.
And that's a 1970s model that's been around for years.
Oh, wow.
And they've made it a distinct class in its own.
Gotcha.
So he won that. And then Maverick won Micro 2, 4 to 6, and that's a gas bike or now even an electric dirt bike. And that's what we showed up on today.
I was going to ask if that was electric or
It
gas
is.
out there. I saw him come whipping up on that thing.
Yeah,
So.
and they go 45 miles an hour. And
What?
They're sick.
Yo, man, you're hauling out there. You like going fast? Yeah. He's shaking his head yes. For those of you on the radio.
Usually what say yes, sir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So you're wanting to follow in Big Brother's footsteps and become state champion rider and all that, huh? You started off early.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so let me see. Noah?
Yep, this is Noah.
Noah?
And Jacob.
And Jacob. Noah, why did you start riding? Who got you into riding?
My dad.
Your dad? Your dad liked to ride motorcycles too? Yeah, and you guys are brothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. You guys got a big track you practice on at home? Yeah. Do you? Yeah. What you got, bud? I thought you was raising his hand to say something. So awesome. So they all 3 of these young men brought home state champions. And so, I mean, obviously the sky's the limit at this age. I mean, if they stay interested and stay riding,
right?
You know, you can be molded. Now, your other son, how old was he when he started riding?
So my oldest boy, Jace, he started at 8.
8.
And so these guys are getting a head
These guys
start.
got like 5 years, getting a 5-year head start on him.
And so Maverick's already got 3 state championships.
What?
Yeah, he got his first state championship last year, and he brought home 2. And so that just kind of set the mark. And then around that time, Noah and Jacob started riding with us and training with us. And so it's just been, hey, we're City of Champions, so we have expectations.
Yeah,
and these boys
absolutely.
They're holding the medal down.
Yeah. How many riders? Now they'd asked. I guess one of the moms said earlier is like they asked like, are all the riders coming? How many riders do you guys got in your team that are riding right now?
So just these 3, and then my oldest boy.
Okay.
But yeah, we're actively looking for more kids to get involved. We've got a track at the house that we train on.
Okay.
It's good time. You know, we go out. It's basically a camping weekend with your family, and the kids get to go have a blast.
Awesome. So I mean, you know, they're starting off at this age. You guys have got it. So if there's people out there that their kids might be interested in doing this, how do they get hold of you? How do they get their kids started in this?
Yeah, so they can contact me on my phone number or on Facebook or something like that. And and Maverick's got an Instagram. Maverick, what's your Instagram? So people can follow you.
Oh, you got an Instagram?
Mavman126.
Mavman126.
Mavman126. All right, I'm gonna get on Instagram, dude, and follow you. You're gonna be a world famous motorcycle rider.
Yeah. So I think all three of them, their favorite racer is. Who's your favorite racer, boys?
Hayden Deegan.
Say it in the microphone.
Say it right on the mic.
Hayden Deegan.
Hayden Deegan. Okay, I don't follow motocross, so go ahead.
Mine is Evan Plessinger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those worlds one of those cultures that exist out there that if you aren't in it, you don't necessarily follow it, right? But we've got young men here in town that are getting into this. How big across the state is this? Like, how many kids were they competing against?
Yeah, so there was like 9 in Jacob's class. And I think roughly around, or Noah's class.
Okay.
Jacob's, I think there was 7 or 8, like off and on. Same with Maverick.
Okay.
The classes get, as the kids get older, around 8 or 9.
Yeah.
More kids will start coming in.
Yeah.
The big classes are your 85s, like where my 15-year-old's at. He was on 85s last year, and those classes are 20, 30 kids.
Okay.
And then when you get into the classes that my son's at now, he'll be racing adults. And so you'll have 40 people on the gate.
Wow.
And so New Mexico has two tracks, one in Moriarty and one in Tularosa.
Okay.
And so, for the state championship, you got to go do 3 races at Moriarty and 3 races at Hart Bar, which is in Tule.
Yeah.
And then your cumulative points over those 6 races is how you become the state champion.
Okay. Yeah, so we need, we start building this up as a sport here in Artesia. We'll have to get us a motocross track down here, man.
Absolutely. Well, there used to be one in Carlsbad.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Off Rains Road years ago. I talked to some of the old timers, and motocross was huge in Carlsbad back in the day.
Really?
Yeah, they got a sick track over there, and unfortunately, right now they're not racing. I do believe that CBAD MX is planning on having a race August 29th.
Okay.
It's also going to be a mud show. So we're going to try to get out to that one for sure.
Yeah.
They'll have mud bogs and also dirt bike races as well.
Really? Okay. And that happens there in Carlsbad then?
Yeah, right off of Happy Valley Road. There's a track right off on the side.
Really? Okay. Yeah. That is cool. That's so, just a world that I know nothing about. And it's cool to know these young men. Hey, so I know who your dad is. so who's these young guys' parents? Who's your mom and dad? Can you tell me?
My mom.
That's your mom. What's her name? Chelsea. Okay.
And then their dad, I work with him at Devon.
Okay.
He's also a Marine. So
sweet.
So we click up pretty well.
I think there's enough of us we can just take the town over. Man.
We got it.
Yeah, we got it.
Assault.
Leave it to the Marine to bring motocross to Artesia.
Yeah. We got to find something wild and crazy.
Well, I'm trying to bring skydiving. You bring in the motocross. We'll make this an adventure town. It's bringing in some new stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Now we just need to get with Jessica over at the Artesia Main Street and have her promote it for us so we can have people come in from out of town.
Yeah, it's cool. So what's next for these guys? So is this kind of the end of the season?
No, so motocross is year round.
Okay.
So we'll start a winter series in August for the Texas State Championship.
Oh, wow. So you guys can go over to another state and participate in their stuff.
So we'll jump over there, and the racing in Texas is it's some of the best in the country.
Okay.
So these kids will go against some literally world class kids. In fact, one of our friends from Midland just competed at the FIM Juniors for Team USA last weekend.
Wow.
We took second place overall against France, Europe, Belgium. Just a lot of different countries, and these kids, are they start on 65, so kids as young as 10 years old get to compete. It's like Olympics.
Oh wow!
And one of our good friends just did that last weekend. His name's Landon Lee out of Midland. And
okay.
My oldest boy has been racing with him for years.
Yeah. So just so I kind of understand it, in the motocross world, it seems that like even at the youngest age, there's, they can compete all the way up to a national level, even at the smallest age.
Yes.
It's not like, I've got to do this locally until I'm, in high school or an adult to get to the big show. I mean, so it seems like there's a lot of opportunity here for them.
Yeah. In fact, Maverick competed both for nationals a few months ago. We went to Ponca City, Oklahoma, and Maverick qualified for regionals, the same race his brother did.
Yeah.
The downside to it is we had a caveat of either take him to the regional race to qualify for nationals,
yeah,
or do the state race. They were on the same day.
Oh man!
So Maverick, Mom and I decided that Maverick didn't quite have the speed to make it to nationals to finish in the top 6. So she went to Moriarty, New Mexico, and I took Jace to Ponca City, Oklahoma. So we divided and conquered there.
So you didn't get to be there to watch him?
I didn't get to be there, no.
Man, what a bummer. So,
so luckily we've got good friends, Chelsea and Chase and, everyone that helps support. In the motocross community, it's something. If you've never been around, nobody wants a kid to go to the gate with a bike that's broke. So people pull together,
that's
pull parts.
Awesome.
With my oldest boy, we've been in the baseball scene for years, and if the team forfeits, you're like, oh yeah, you're congratulating it because you go to the next level. We don't do that in motocross. We want every kid to race.
Good. That's pretty awesome.
It is.
So and you told me little bad luck on is it Chase or Jace? Jace's race. So what's next for him?
Right now, Jace is in Texas at a training facility, training full time for nationals.
Okay.
And nationals starts August 3rd, so he'll be racing nationals on the 125.
Okay.
So right now he's got some other prospects out there, but we're
good.
We're hoping for a top 5 finish. That's what projected. And so if everything goes good, we get bikes set up and we dial in on the track. We could potentially be coming home with a national championship.
That is wonderful. So boys, you're on the radio, you're on TV, which you can't see it right now, but you're on TV. Do you want to say hi to anybody? Who do you want to say hi to? Talk right into the microphone. Make sure you go talk right into the microphone. Who do you want to say hi to? He's just got a big old huh?
My little sister.
Your little sister? Oh yeah. She's already got a helmet on out there. She's already ready to race too, huh? Yeah. What about you guys? Who do you want to say hi to?
My mom.
Your mom? Well, she's right there. Say hi to Dad. Yeah, Dad's out there working right now, so hopefully he's getting to listen and all that. So, well, thank you guys so much. God bless you all, and best of luck on your next races.
This is KSVP and K229AS Artesia.
At Town Hall, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The main Democrat Party has voted to hold a convention now that Democrat Graham Plattner has announced he'll drop out of the state's U.S. Senate race after a former girlfriend accused him of sexual assault in a video posted on social media. He says he's not guilty and that it was all a matter of political maneuvering in both parties, including Democrats in Washington.
I only have until July 13th until I am officially the nominee. This was the last week to try to get me off of the ballot. That's why this is occurring. It's not the false allegations, though, that have brought us to where we are. It's the fact that they are being used by the political establishment to put structural pressure on us.
Most observers say all the drama surrounding Plattner's race probably means that the incumbent Susan Collins has little chance of being driven out of office as Democrats had hoped. The legal battle over alleged damage to the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool moving forward now.
Olympic canoeist David Hurd has pleaded not guilty to a felony charge connected to damage at the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. Prosecutors say Hearn helped damage the recently renovated landmark. If convicted, he could face up to 10 years in prison. His next court appearance is scheduled for August. Willie Nelson, the White House.
The U.S. airport renamed today after President Trump.
PBI, Palm Beach International, now DJT, Donald J. Trump International, son Eric Trump posting the audio from the control tower on his social media pages as he and family members arrive at 5 in the morning for the first flight landing there under the new name.
Attention all aircraft, effective immediately. Palm Beach International Airport is officially President Donald J. Trump International Airport.
The new signs around the airport are up and the name change in effect on the airline websites that operate out of Palm Beach, Florida. Laura Winters reporting.
You'll find more on these stories at townhall.com.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free, no-risk consultation. 800-292-7875. 800-292-7875. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-292-7875.
With a midday Wall Street business report now, here's John Scott.
Wall Street and oil prices are holding steady and are in positive territory during the midday hour, following their sharp swings the day before in the wait to see what will happen next after President Donald Trump raised doubts about the temporary truce in the war with Iran. President Trump declaring the interim memorandum of understanding with Iran over. The S&P 500 rose 0.1% early Thursday, even though the United States launched new airstrikes against Iran, which responded by targeting U.S. allies in the Middle East. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slipped 33 points, but has since moved upward. The Nasdaq Composite rose 0.5%. The price of Brent crude slipped 0.3% after rising sharply a day earlier. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
You'll find breaking news and analysis at townhall.com. Singer Bonnie Tyler's passed away.
It's a heartache. Singer Bonnie Tyler, the Grammy nominee known for songs like It's a Heartache, has died at age 75. Tyler's family says she died unexpectedly in a hospital in Portugal where she had a home and was being treated for an illness. In May, Tyler had emergency intestinal surgery and was placed in an induced coma, but had been improving. Tyler earned 3 Grammy nominations, and her song Total Eclipse of the Heart has had more than 1 billion streams. Bonnie Tyler dead at age 75.